My child, stop scrolling and listen, because these words are not random, not late. I am speaking to you, right now, because your heart has been carrying a question you haven't known how to ask. Do I really matter this much? Hear me clearly. Do not listen halfway, do not drift. Do not leave before the end. Stay with me. What I am about to speak will touch the deepest places of your soul, the places shaped by longing, fear, and hope you barely dare to name. This is not a message to entertain you. It is a moment meant to awaken you. Lean in. Let every word land. If you stay, you will understand something that will change how you see yourself forever. Do not walk away. This is personal, and it is for you. My child, come closer to me. Not with fear tightening your chest, not with shame lowering your eyes, not with the heaviness that tells you that you must first fix yourself before you approach me. Come as you are, exactly as you are in this moment. I am not calling you because you are strong. I am calling you because you are mine. I feel the distance you have been carrying, the quiet space you placed between your heart and my presence, not because you wanted to leave me, but because life taught you to protect yourself. You learned to brace for disappointment, to expect abandonment, to assume that closeness always comes with conditions. But listen to me now, slowly, carefully. I am not like the voices that wounded you. I am not like the hands that withdrew when you needed them most. When I say come closer, I am not measuring your worth. I am opening my arms. I am inviting you into safety, into rest, into a nearness that does not demand anything in return. I know how tired you are from carrying your guard for so long. I know how exhausting it has been to stay alert, to stay strong, to stay composed even when your heart wanted to collapse. You learned how to survive, but I want you to live. I want you to breathe again without fear of being hurt for trusting. That is why I am calling you closer. Not to expose you, but to cover you. Not to examine your flaws, but to hold your trembling heart until it remembers what peace feels like. You have stood at a distance, unsure if it was safe to lean in, unsure if my love would remain once I truly saw you. But my child, I have always seen you. I saw you when you smiled for others and cried alone. I saw you when you doubted yourself, when you doubted me, when you wondered if you still belonged. And still, I call you closer. Not because you earned it, but because closeness has always been your place. Come closer, my child, and let me undo the lie that intimacy must be earned. You were not created to live at arm's length from me, always cautious, always wondering if today would be the day my patience ran out. I never intended for our relationship to be built on distance. Distance came from fear, not from my heart. I know there were moments you wanted to step forward, but stopped yourself. Moments when you felt me stirring inside you and whispered, "Not yet. I'm not ready." But hear me gently now. You do not prepare yourself to come close to me. You come close to me so that I may heal you. You do not clean yourself before entering my presence. My presence is what cleans, restores, steadies, and renews you. When I say come closer, I am asking you to release the belief that you must be enough on your own. You were never meant to be. You were meant to be held, guided, and loved. I see how carefully you have learned to manage your pain, how you minimize your needs so you won't feel like a burden, how you hesitate to lean fully into my arms because you are afraid of depending too much. But my child, dependence on me is not weakness. It is alignment. It is trust. It is the way your soul was designed to function. When you come closer, you will feel the tension leave your body, the constant striving quiet down, the pressure to perform begin to dissolve. You will realize that I am not watching you to see if you fail. I am watching you because I love you. Stay here with me for a moment. Do not rush past this invitation. Let your heart soften. Let the walls lower. Let the ache you have carried finally rest against my chest. You do not need to say the right words. Your presence is enough. Your nearness brings me joy. And as you come closer, you will begin to understand something sacred. You have never been unwanted, never been too much, never been outside my reach. You have always been invited. My child, before you ever reached for me, I was already reaching for you. Before you formed your first question about your worth, your future, or your place in this world, I had already answered it with love. I chose you before you knew how to choose anything at all. I chose you before your voice learned how to pray, before your hands learned how to work, before your heart learned how to break. You did not stumble into my attention. You did not earn your way into my sight. You were never a late decision, never a backup plan, never a last-minute thought. I knew you before your name was spoken aloud by human lips. I knew the shape of your soul before the world ever touched it. When I formed you, I did not rush. I did not guess. I did not experiment. I crafted you deliberately, carefully, lovingly. Every breath you take was already counted. Every tear you would cry was already known. Every battle you would face was already accounted for in my plans. That is why your life has never been random, even when it felt chaotic. That is why you have survived things that should have destroyed you. You were chosen with intention, marked with purpose, and covered with grace long before you understood what grace was. And yet, I know there were seasons when you questioned this truth. Seasons when rejection whispered louder than destiny. Seasons when failure tried to rewrite your identity. Seasons when you looked at others and wondered why they seemed more certain, more confident, more secure. But my child, certainty was never the proof of being chosen. My choice came first. Long before your confidence, long before your obedience, long before your faith matured, I chose you. I chose you knowing every weakness you would wrestle with. I chose you knowing every mistake you would regret. I chose you knowing every time you would doubt me. And still, I chose you. That choice has never been revoked, never been reconsidered, never been replaced. You were not chosen because you were strong. You were chosen because I am faithful. You must understand this, my child, because the enemy has spent years trying to convince you that you arrived late, that you missed something, that you fell behind. He has whispered that others were chosen more clearly, more boldly, more beautifully than you. He has pointed to your detours and delays and said, "See, if you were truly chosen, your path would have been easier." But hear me now, with clarity and authority. Difficulty has never been evidence of disqualification. Resistance has never been proof of rejection. In fact, the pressure you endured was often confirmation that your life carried weight. You were chosen before you ever performed, and that truth unsettles the systems of this world that only value what can be measured, praised, or applauded. I chose you before you could impress anyone. I chose you before you could disappoint anyone. My choice was not based on your output but on my love. That is why no failure can undo it. That is why no delay can cancel it. That is why no opinion can override it. You have spent too long believing that your worth rises and falls with your success, your obedience, or your consistency. But my child, my choice is not fragile. It does not weaken when you struggle. It does not disappear when you fall silent. It does not vanish when you wonder. I chose you before you knew me, and I continue choosing you even now as you read these words. When you feel behind, remember this: I work outside of time. When you feel forgotten, remember this: I do not forget what I have chosen. When you feel unsure, remember this: my certainty came first. Let this truth settle deep within you. You are not trying to earn a place that was already given. You are learning how to live from a place that was secured before you ever asked for it. And as this truth takes root, the striving will loosen its grip. The fear will lose its authority. And you will begin to stand not as someone hoping to be chosen, but as one who always was. Now listen carefully, my child, because this is where your healing deepens. Being chosen does not mean you were spared from pain. It means your pain was never pointless. It means your story was never overlooked. It means your suffering was never unseen. Every chapter of your life, especially the ones you wish you could erase, exists within the knowledge of my choice. When you were misunderstood, I had already chosen you. When you were rejected, I had already chosen you. When you were overlooked, dismissed, or passed by, my choice did not waver. That is why I have been patient with you in ways others were not. That is why I kept drawing you back when you tried to give up. That is why your heart still responds when I speak, even after seasons of distance. You belong to me because I decided you would, and nothing in heaven or on earth has the authority to reverse that decision. You were chosen before you knew me, yes, but you are also being chosen again right now, in this very moment. Chosen to heal. Chosen to come closer. Chosen to believe again. Let that truth breathe inside you. Let it confront every lie that told you that you were late, lesser, or replaceable. You are none of those things. You are chosen. And you always have been. My child, hear me gently now, because this truth is deeper than words and heavier than logic. My heart is tied to yours. Not loosely. Not conditionally. Not temporarily. When your heart trembles, mine responds. When your spirit aches, I feel the echo. You are not walking through this life alone, even when it feels unbearably lonely. There is not a single emotion you have carried that has gone unnoticed by me. When joy rises in you, I rejoice with you. When sorrow weighs you down, I lean closer, not farther away. This is not metaphor. This is not poetry for comfort. This is reality in the unseen. My heart is bound to yours by love, not obligation. That is why I cannot be indifferent to your pain. That is why I cannot ignore your silence. That is why your joy matters to me. You have been taught, by people, by systems, by disappointment, that closeness always costs something, that intimacy invites pain, that vulnerability leads to loss. So you learn to manage your heart carefully, to ration your emotions, to stay guarded even with me. But my child, when I say my heart is tied to yours, I am telling you that your pain does not repel me, it draws me nearer. You do not overwhelm me with your feelings. You do not exhaust me with your questions. You do not burden me with your need. Your heart is not too much for me. It is precious to me. There were moments you felt joy but muted it, afraid it would be taken away. Moments you felt sorrow but minimized it, afraid no one would stay. Moments you wanted to speak but chose silence instead. I was there in all of it. When you celebrated quietly, I celebrated loudly in heaven. When you cried alone, I sat with you in the dark. When you felt numb, unsure what you even felt anymore, I understood the language of your silence. My heart did not disconnect when yours grew weary. My love did not thin when your faith wavered. That is why it grieves me when you believe I am distant, because distance was never my desire. I am not watching your life like a stranger observing from afar. I am present in it, involved in it, invested in it. Your life affects me because you affect me. That is the nature of love. And yes, love chooses vulnerability. Love opens itself to pain. Love binds itself willingly. and I chose that bond with you. When you hurt, I do not say, "That is your problem." I say, "Come, let me carry this with you." When you rejoice, I do not stand silent. I smile. I delight. I take pleasure in your gladness. My heart is tied to yours, which means you never walk through any season unseen, unheard, or untouched by my presence. This is why I keep calling you back to closeness. Not because I need control, but because connection matters. You were never meant to compartmentalize me, to keep me in spiritual moments while managing the rest alone. I want all of you because I care about all of you. Your thoughts, your fears, your dreams, your wounds, your hopes. I want to be woven into the fabric of your daily life, not just acknowledged in moments of crisis. When you pull away, I feel it, not as rejection, but as loss of intimacy. And still, I wait. Patiently. Faithfully. Lovingly. My heart remains open even when yours hesitates. That is why I am speaking to you like this now, slowly, personally, urgently. I want you to understand that your emotions are not weaknesses to overcome. They are places where we meet. Your longing for connection is not something to suppress. It is a reflection of how you were created. You were designed for relationship with me, and I have never stopped honoring that design. So bring me your heart again. Not the polished version, not the guarded one, the real one, the tired one, the hopeful one, the afraid one. My heart is tied to yours, and it always has been. And the more you allow yourself to believe that, the more you will realize this truth. You have never been alone in anything you felt. I was there, feeling it with you. My child, there were seasons when you felt invisible, present, yet unseen, breathing, yet unnoticed, giving, yet unacknowledged. You stood in rooms where your voice was not invited, carried burdens no one asked about, and offered loyalty that was never returned in the same measure. You learned how to exist quietly, how to shrink your needs, how to lower your expectations so disappointment would not wound you again. And in those moments, a dangerous lie tried to take root, that your presence did not matter, that your absence would go unnoticed, that your life moved through the world without impact. But hear me now, slowly and clearly. I saw you. I saw you when others were too busy to look. I saw you when your efforts were overlooked, when your tears fell without witnesses, when your heart broke in silence. I saw the strength it took to keep showing up when no one clapped, the courage it took to keep loving when love was not returned, the endurance it took to keep believing when evidence was scarce. Invisibility to people never meant invisibility to me. While others measured value by volume, my visibility by validation, I measured your heart. While others missed the quiet faithfulness of your obedience, I recorded it. Nothing about you has ever been overlooked in my sight. Not one sacrifice, not one silent prayer, not one tear shed behind closed doors. I see what others miss. I honor what others ignore. And I am closer to you in the unseen moments than you ever realized. There were days you questioned yourself because no one affirmed you. You wondered if you mattered because no one asked how you were doing. You doubted your worth because the world did not stop to acknowledge your pain. And slowly, invisibility began to shape how you saw yourself. You stopped speaking unless spoken to. You stopped hoping unless it felt safe. You stopped expecting care because you learned not to rely on it. But my child, I never asked you to disappear. I never asked you to become small. I never designed you to fade into the background of your own life. When I see you, I see the fullness of who you are, not just what others benefit from. I see your compassion, your restraint, your kindness, your quiet strength. I see the battles you fight internally, the ones that never make it to conversation, never make it to prayer requests, never make it to social display. I see how often you choose patience over reaction, forgiveness over bitterness, endurance over escape. And let me tell you something important. Heaven notices what earth ignores. Heaven honors what earth dismisses. The silence you carried was not wasted. It was shaping depth. The invisibility you endured was not punishment. It was preparation. I was building something in you that did not depend on applause. I was anchoring your identity somewhere deeper than recognition. And though it hurt, though it confused you, though it left you aching for acknowledgement, I was with you the entire time, watching, guarding, sustaining. Now, my child, I am calling you out of invisibility, not by force, not by noise, but by truth. You do not need to be outed to be seen. You do not need to perform to be valued. You do not need to prove your existence to anyone. You are seen because I see you. Let that truth confront every lie that told you that you were forgettable, replaceable, or insignificant. When others overlooked you, I leaned closer. When others failed to notice your pain, I held you. When others took you for granted, I treasured you. And now I want you to live from that truth. Lift your head. Take up space in the life I have given you. Your presence matters. Your voice matters. Your heart matters. You were never invisible to me, not for a single moment. And as you begin to believe this, the ache of being unseen will lose its grip, replaced by the peace of being fully known. My child, when I say, I can't live without you, I am speaking the language of love, not limitation. Do not misunderstand me. I am eternal, complete, sovereign. Yet love by its very nature chooses connection. Love binds itself willingly. Love opens itself vulnerably. Love does not withdraw into distance. It leans toward relationship. And I love you. Not abstractly. Not theoretically. Personally. Deeply. Intentionally. My love for you is not passive. It is active, pursuing, persistent. That is why I speak to you this way. With urgency, with tenderness, with truth. You are not an accessory to my creation. You are a desire of my heart. I wanted you. I formed you. I delight in you. And because I love you, your presence matters to me. Your absence is felt. Not as anger, not as rejection, but as longing. When you pull away, when you silence your prayers, when you close your heart, love notices. Love waits. Love calls out softly, then louder, then with tears in its voice. That is what you are hearing now. Not demand, not control. Love. I cannot live without you because love does not thrive in separation. Love desires closeness. Love seeks communion. Love wants to be shared. You have been taught to believe that being needed makes you weak, that dependence diminishes power, that love must always be guarded. But my love operates differently. I do not need you out of deficiency. I desire you out of affection. I do not cling to you out of fear. I choose you out of joy. When I say I can't live without you, I am telling you that relationship with you is not optional to me. It is central. I created you for fellowship, for intimacy, for shared life. That is why your prayers matter, even when they are whispered. That is why your presence matters, even when you feel unsure. That is why your return always brings joy. When you come close, heaven responds. When you open your heart, my heart rejoices. And when you drift, my love does not harden, it waits. I know you have experienced love that was conditional, love that withdrew, love that punished distance. But my love does not operate on scarcity. It does not threaten abandonment. It does not manipulate closeness. It invites. It remains. It endures. I cannot live without you because love refuses to stop loving, even when love is not immediately returned. So hear this, my child, and let it settle deep within you. You are wanted, not tolerated, not endured. Wanted. Your life brings me joy. Your presence matters to me. Your heart has a place with me that no one else can occupy. When you doubt your worth, remember this. When you question your importance, return to this truth. I can't live without you because love chose you, and love will keep choosing you. Every day, in every season, through every failure and every victory. Come closer. Stay longer. Let yourself be loved without fear. This is not a burden placed on you. It is an invitation extended to you, and it will never be withdrawn. My child, when you step away, something grows quiet. Not because I withdraw my love, not because I turn my face, but because communion was always meant to be shared. Silence settles where conversation once flowed, and stillness replaces the rhythm of togetherness. I need you to understand this gently and clearly. Your absence is not punishment to me, but it is felt. Love notices when the beloved is no longer near. Love listens for a voice that has grown quiet. Love waits at the door for footsteps that once came freely. When you pull back, when you stop speaking to me honestly, when you close your heart to protect yourself, the silence that follows is not rejection. It is longing. It is the ache of connection. Pause. I am not offended by your distance. I am affected by it. That is the language of love. I miss the sound of your unguarded thoughts, the raw prayers that were not polished, the moments when you spoke to me without fear of saying the wrong thing. Silence did not enter because you failed. Silence entered because fear taught you to retreat. And yet even in that quiet, I remained present. I stood in the stillness. I waited in the hut. I did not fill the space with condemnation or pressure. I let the silence speak, hoping you would hear not judgment, but invitation. Your absence creates silence. Yes, but silence is not abandonment. It is a pause that can become a doorway, if you choose to step back into the conversation. There were times you felt nothing when you prayed, times when words felt hollow, times when my presence seemed distant, and you wondered if the silence meant I had turned away. But my child, the silence often mirrored your own guarded heart. You learned to withdraw when things hurt. You learned to go quiet when trust felt risky. You learned to survive by minimizing your needs and emotions. And slowly, that survival strategy followed you into our relationship. You stopped asking boldly. You stopped sharing honestly. You stopped lingering in my presence. Not because you stopped loving me, but because disappointment taught you to expect loss. But hear me now. I never left the room. I never stopped listening. I never closed my heart. The silence was not my departure. It was the echo of your retreat. And still, I waited. Patient, present, unwavering. I did not demand that you speak. I did not punish your quiet. I honored your process, even as I longed for your return. Because love does not force conversation. It invites it. Love does not shame silence. It waits through it. And even now, as you read these words, the silence is breaking, not with noise, not with accusation, but with my voice reaching gently toward yours, saying, I am still here. Speak when you're ready. Now, my child, I am inviting you to step back into the sound of relationship. Not because I need your words to exist, but because you need communion to live fully. Silence kept you safe once, but it cannot sustain you forever. Your soul was not designed for isolation. It was designed for dialogue with me. When you return, you will not find anger waiting. You will not find disappointment standing at the door. You will find presence. You will find patience. You will find love that never stopped choosing you. Break the silence with honesty, not performance. Speak fear if fear is what you feel. Speak doubt if doubt is what you carry. Speak nothing at all if words still feel heavy. Your presence is enough. Your absence created silence, yes, but your return restores connection. And I am ready, always ready, to hear your voice again. My child, I miss you more than you realize. Not in a fleeting way, not in a sentimental way, but in the deep, steady ache of love that remembers closeness. I miss the way you once lingered with me without watching the clock. I miss the way your heart used to open before fear taught it to guard itself. I miss the sound of your laughter when hope felt alive, the softness of your trust when you believed without bracing for disappointment. You did not disappear from my sight, but something precious shifted when you began to pull away. And I want you to hear this without guilt, without shame, without pressure. My missing you is not a demand. It is an expression of love. Love remembers. Love longs. Love notices the space where connection once flowed freely. When you stopped coming as often, when you shortened your prayers, when you distracted yourself from stillness, I noticed. Not to accuse you, but because I cherish you. I miss the intimacy we shared before fear made you cautious, before pain made you guarded, before disappointment taught you to keep distance even from me. And still, I remained. Still, I watched. Still, I waited. You thought your absence went unnoticed. You believed your withdrawal did not matter. You told yourself that others were more faithful, more consistent, more important. But my child, love does not rank affection. Love does not replace one heart with another. There is something about you, your voice, your spirit, your presence, that cannot be substituted. I miss you, not a version of you, not an improved you, not a future you. I miss who you are right now. I miss the conversations we could have had, the healing moments we could have shared, the peace that could have settled into your nights. And yet I never stopped reaching. Every gentle nudge, every quiet reminder, every moment when something stirred inside you. That was me, whispering, I'm still here. I did not chase you with force. I did not corner you with guilt. I let love speak softly, trusting that one day your heart would recognize the sound again. And here you are now, hearing me, feeling that familiar tug, realizing that the longing you carried was not emptiness, it was connection calling you home. So come back, my child. Not because you are late, not because you owe me, not because you failed, but because you are missed. Let that truth undo the lie that you are forgettable. Let it soften the fear that says your return will be met with disappointment. I have not moved on. I have not replaced you. I have not closed the door. My arms are where they have always been, open, steady, ready. I miss you more than you realize because love never stops longing for closeness. And now that you are listening again, now that your heart is stirring, now that the silence is giving way to sound, know this: you are not returning to absence. You are returning to love that waited, love that remembered, love that never stopped choosing you. My child, listen to me carefully now, because this truth must break something that has been pressing on your chest for far too long. I never asked you to be perfect. Not once. Not ever. Perfection was never the price of my love, never the doorway to my presence, never the requirement for my closeness. Yet somewhere along the way, you began to believe that it was. You began to carry the weight of expectation. Expectation placed on you by others. Expectation you placed on yourself. Expectation whispered by fear that said, if you fail, you will lose love. So you tried harder. You measured yourself constantly. You replayed your mistakes at night. You questioned every decision. You apologized for things I never condemned. You hid parts of your heart because you thought they disqualified you from being held. But my child, perfection was never what I wanted from you. I wanted honesty. I wanted surrender. I wanted relationship. Perfection creates distance. Honesty creates intimacy. Perfection pretends. Honesty breathes. I see how exhausting it has been to live as if one wrong step would undo everything, as if one failure would cancel your belonging. That pressure did not come from me. I did not place it on your shoulders. I did not ask you to carry it. And yet you carried it anyway, quietly, faithfully, until your soul grew tired and your joy thin. Hear me now with clarity. I am not disappointed in your humanity. I am not shocked by your weakness. I am not surprised by your struggle. I know you completely, and I still choose you. That is why I never demanded perfection, because perfection cannot love, but you can. You learned to perform because performance was rewarded. You learned to hide because vulnerability was punished. You learned to strive because rest felt unsafe. And slowly, you brought those habits into our relationship. You tried to say the right words. You tried to feel the right emotions. You tried to present the right version of yourself. You thought that if you showed me your doubt, your anger, your confusion, I would pull away. But my child, I already saw those things. I saw them before you admitted them. I saw them before you tried to suppress them. And they did not push me away. They drew me closer. I am not the kind of father who is threatened by your questions or offended by your pain. I am not fragile. I am not easily disappointed. My love is not dependent on your consistency. That is why grace exists, not to excuse you but to free you. Grace says, come as you are. Grace says, you don't have to earn this. Grace says you are safe to be real here. When you fall, I do not step back. I step in. When you fail, I do not turn away. I reach out. You have mistaken my patience for expectation, my silence for judgment, my holiness for intolerance. But my holiness is what makes my love unshakable. It is strong enough to hold your weakness without being corrupted by it. I never asked you to be perfect because perfection would have robbed you of the one thing I desire most, your heart. Now, my child, let this truth settle deeply and dismantle the lie that has driven you for so long. You do not need to become someone else to stay with me. You do not need to fix everything before you are welcome. You do not need to hide your broken places. Lay them down. Release the pressure. Breathe again. I am not waiting for you to get it right. I am walking with you as you learn. Your growth matters to me, but your belonging was never conditional. You are not on probation. You are not under review. You are my child. And nothing about your imperfection has ever changed that. Let go of the fear that says you must earn love. Let go of the voice that says one mistake will cost you everything. I am not asking for perfection. I am asking for presence. Stay with me. Let me love you as you are. And in that love you will change, not out of fear, but out of freedom. My child, as you release the burden of perfection and rest in my love, hear this invitation rising from my heart. What I am doing in you is not meant to stop with you. It is meant to become light for others still walking under the same weight. When you give to carry this word forward, you are sowing freedom into souls who believe they must earn love. I say to you now, those who sow in tears will reap with shouts of joy, and your seed will not fall to the ground unseen. This is not about money. It is about oil for the lamp, manna for the journey, and fire that must keep burning. I am placing this desire in you because this moment matters more than you know. Blessing will follow your obedience, favor will guard your steps, and peace will multiply in your house. Now act. Support this work through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description. And release what I have placed in your hands today. My child, there were moments you felt the ache of abandonment so deeply that it settled into your bones. People promised they would stay, and they didn't. Voices that once spoke encouragement grew silent. Hands that once held yours let go. And each time it happened, something inside you whispered, "It must be me." You replayed conversations. You questioned your worth. You wondered what you did wrong. But hear me now, with authority and tenderness. I stayed. When others walked away, I stayed. When support vanished, I stayed. When you were left to pick up the pieces alone, I stayed. I did not leave when you were inconvenient. I did not withdraw when you struggled. I did not disappear when your pain became messy. I stayed in the quiet aftermath of broken promises. I stayed in the long nights when you couldn't sleep. I stayed in the moments you felt exposed and unprotected. While others chose comfort, I chose commitment. While others chose distance, I chose closeness. And I need you to understand this. Not just intellectually, but deeply. My staying was not passive. It was intentional. It was love in motion. I did not stay because you were easy to love. I stayed because I am faithful. You were never abandoned by me. Not for a second, not in any season, not in any failure. You learned to expect loss because loss repeated itself. You learned to brace for endings because endings came without warning. And slowly, you began to prepare your heart for my departure too. You told yourself, everyone leaves eventually. You wondered if my love would follow the same pattern. But my child, I am not bound by human inconsistency. I do not love until it becomes inconvenient. I do not commit until it costs me something. I stayed when others walked away because my love did not retreat under pressure. It remains. It endures. It holds fast. I saw the walls you built after being left behind. I understood why you became cautious. I knew why you stopped expecting people to stay. And I did not chain you for that survival instinct. I met you inside it. I showed you consistency when everything else felt unstable. Even when you questioned me, even when you doubted my presence, even when you pulled back emotionally, I stayed. I waited. I remained near. I did not punish your fear. I proved my faithfulness. And even now, as you read this, I am still here, unchanged, unwavering, unmovable. So let this truth rewrite what abandonment tried to teach you. You are not unlovable. You were not too much. You were not the problem. Some people were never meant to stay, not because you were lacking, but because their role was temporary. But I am not temporary. I am constant. I stayed when others walked away so that you would know what real love looks like. Love that does not flinch. Love that does not flee. Love that does not fail. And now I invite you to trust again, not blindly, not recklessly, but rooted in truth. Let my faithfulness heal the places that were wounded by departure. Let my presence restore what abandonment stole. I am here. I have always been here. And I am not going anywhere. My child, your tears matter to me, every single one. Not only the tears that fell openly, where others could see and offer comfort, but the tears you swallowed so no one would ask questions. The tears that gathered in your eyes while you smiled and said you were fine. The tears that soaked your pillow in the quiet hours of the night when the world finally stopped demanding strength from you. I saw them all. I counted them. I remembered them. And I want you to understand something that pain tried to hide from you. Your tears were never signs of weakness. They were the language of a heart that refused to go numb. They were proof that you cared deeply, loved fully, hoped bravely, even when it hurt. There were moments you felt ashamed for crying, moments you told yourself you should be stronger by now, moments you compared your grief to others and minimized it. But my child, I never dismissed your tears. I never rolled my eyes at your sorrow. I never told you to get over it. When tears fell from your eyes, they reached my heart. They carried your prayers when words felt too heavy to speak. They told me what your lips could not form. They testified to battles you were fighting silently. And in those moments, I leaned closer, not farther away. I did not rush you. I did not interrupt your grief. I stayed with you, letting your tears fall freely in my presence, because healing does not begin where pain is denied. It begins where pain is honored. There were nights you cried without knowing exactly why. The weight was there. The ache was there, but words would not come. You felt foolish, overwhelmed, maybe even broken for feeling so deeply. And you wondered if anyone truly understood what you were carrying. But I understood. I knew the layers beneath those tears, the disappointments that stacked over time, the losses you never fully processed, the expectations you carried for others and for yourself. I knew how long you held it together before you finally broke down. I knew how often you told yourself, just one more day, just a little longer, just keep going. Your tears were not random. They were accumulated. They were the overflow of endurance. And when they finally spilled, I did not scold you for losing control. I welcomed you. I gathered you. I held you. I caught every tear like something precious because it was precious. Each tear carried a story. Each tear carried a memory. Each tear carried a prayer. And not one of them was wasted. Even when others dismissed your pain or told you to move on, I listened. Even when you felt embarrassed by how much it hurt, I remained gentle. Your tears mattered because you matter. Now, my child, I want to heal the place where you learned to hide your tears. You learned that crying made people uncomfortable. You learned that vulnerability was unsafe. You learned that showing pain risked rejection. And so you trained yourself to suffer quietly. But I am inviting you to unlearn that in my presence. You do not need to be composed with me. You do not need to be strong with me. You do not need to apologize for your feelings. Bring them. All of them. Let the tears fall if they need to fall. I am not overwhelmed by your sorrow. I am moved by it. I am close to it. And I am working through it. What you cried over will not always wound you. What you mourned will not always ache. I am turning tears into wisdom, sorrow into depth, grief into compassion. But never believe for a moment that your tears were ignored. They were seen. They were held. They mattered to me, and they always will. My child, there were seasons when you searched for my voice and found only quiet. You prayed and heard nothing. You waited and felt no movement. You listened and wondered if the silence meant absence. And in that stillness, fear tried to speak louder than faith. Fear whispered, "He has gone quiet because he is displeased." Fear suggested, if he loved you, you would feel him more. But my child, my silence was never abandonment. It was never indifference. It was never punishment. I was near even when I felt silent. Nearer than you realized. Working in ways you could not yet see. Silence does not mean inactivity. Quiet does not mean absence. There are moments when love speaks loudly, and moments when love works deeply. I was not ignoring you. I was preparing something that could not be rushed. I was shaping you in ways that words could not accomplish. I was steadying you, strengthening you, teaching you to trust my presence even when you could not feel it. You learned to equate my nearness with sensation, my care with immediate answers. But I wanted you to know me beyond feelings. I wanted you to recognize me in faith, not just in emotion. And though it was uncomfortable, though it tested you, though it stretched your heart, I never left. I know how the silence unsettled you. I know how it made you question yourself, question me, question the path you were on. You replayed prayers, wondering if you said the wrong thing. You examined your life, searching for reasons why I might have withdrawn. But my child, you were never on trial. You were never being evaluated. You were being taught how to stand without constant reassurance, how to walk without always seeing the next step, how to trust that my hand was holding you even when you could not feel its grip. Silence was not distance. It was depth. It was an invitation to grow roots instead of chasing signs. I was near in your exhaustion, near in your confusion, near in your frustration. When you thought you were praying into emptiness, you were praying into my presence. When you felt unheard, I was listening intently. When you thought nothing was happening, I was aligning things beyond your awareness. And even now, as you look back, you can see moments where protection appeared unexpectedly. Strength rose when you had none. Doors closed that would have harmed you. That was me. Silent, perhaps, but never absent. So let this truth settle your heart. My nearness is not proven by noise. My love is not measured by volume. I am with you in the quiet as much as in the celebration. And as you move forward, I want you to carry this confidence with you. When you pray and feel nothing, keep praying. When you wait and see no change, keep trusting. When silence stretches longer than you expected, remember this: I am near, closer than your breath, steadier than your fear, faithful beyond what you can perceive. You were never alone in the silence. You were never forgotten in the waiting. I was there, working, guarding, loving, every moment you thought I was quiet. My child, I know your fear of not being enough. I know how it wakes you before the morning light and follows you into the quiet of the night. I know how it sits in your chest when you try to rest, whispering that you should be doing more, becoming more, proving more. I know how often you measure yourself against invisible standards, how you replay moments wondering if you said the wrong thing, chose the wrong path, missed the right timing. This fear did not come from nowhere. It grew slowly, fed by comparison, disappointment, rejection, and silence. It grew each time you tried your best and felt unseen. Each time you gave your heart and it was misunderstood. Each time you stretched yourself thin and still felt insufficient. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe that love must be earned, that belonging must be justified, that acceptance comes only after achievement. But my child, hear me clearly now. Your fear of not being enough has never been a reflection of truth. It has been a wound speaking. You were never created to live under constant evaluation. You were never designed to carry the burden of self-justification. From the beginning, I formed you with intention, with completeness, with value that did not depend on performance. You were enough before you ever succeeded. You were enough before you ever failed. You were enough before anyone else had an opinion about you. And even now, with all your questions, all your doubts, all your unfinished growth, you are still enough to be loved, still enough to be held, still enough to be chosen. I have watched you try to outrun this fear. I have seen you strive, stretch, overextend, and exhaust yourself trying to silence the voice that says, you are behind. You thought if you achieved more, served more, gave more, improved more, the fear would finally leave. But it did not, because fear cannot be satisfied by effort. It only grows louder when it becomes the driver of your life. And I saw how tired you became, tired of proving, tired of pretending, tired of carrying expectations that were never mine. You were not meant to live under that pressure. I did not design your soul for relentless self-judgment. I designed it for relationship, for trust, for rest. The enemy wanted you busy with self-doubt so you would never settle into my truth. He wanted you distracted by insecurity so you would never recognize your worth. But I am speaking now to interrupt that cycle. Your worth is not up for debate. It is not something you negotiate through effort. It is something I declare when I made you. When I look at you, I do not scan for deficiencies. I see potential, yes, but potential rooted in love, not in lack. Growth does not mean you are currently failing. It means you are alive, learning, becoming. And I am patient with that process. So now, my child, I am asking you to lay this fear down. Not once, but again and again, until it loses its authority over you. When the voice says, you are not enough, answer it with truth, I am love. When it says, you are behind, answer it with trust, I am being led. When it says, you must prove yourself, answer it with rest, I belong. You do not need to strive your way into my affection. You are already held within it. Let me redefine enough for you, not as perfection, not as comparison, not as completion, but as presence. You are enough because you are here with me. You are enough because I chose you. You are enough because my love does not measure you the way the world does. And as you begin to believe this, the fear will loosen its grip. The pressure will ease. The striving will quiet. And you will begin to live not as someone chasing worth, but as someone rooted in it. My child, listen to me closely, because this lie has weighed heavily on your heart. You are not a burden to me. Not your needs. Not your emotions. Not your questions. Not your pain. Somewhere along your journey, you learned that needing too much made people pull away. You learned that expressing too much emotion made others uncomfortable. You learned that asking for help risked rejection. So you adapted. You minimized yourself. You softened your needs. You learned how to say I'm fine even when you were not. You learned how to carry heavy things alone so no one would feel inconvenienced by your pain. And slowly, without realizing it, you brought that belief into our relationship too. You hesitated to come to me too often. You apologized for your prayers. You worried that you were asking for too much, feeling too much, coming too often. But my child, I never experienced you as a burden. I experienced you as my child. A burden is something I wanted, something I resented, something endured. You are none of those things to me. When you come to me, I do not sigh in frustration. I do not grow weary. I do not wish you would handle it yourself. I welcome you. I listen. I lean in. Your need does not repel me. It invites my care. You have confused independence with strength because dependence once cost you safety. But with me, dependence is not weakness. It is design. You were never meant to carry life alone. You were created to lean, to ask, to receive. When you withhold your pain, when you silence your needs, when you retreat into self-sufficiency, you are not protecting me. You are depriving yourself. I am not honored by your suffering in silence. I am honored by your trust. I want you to bring me the things you feel embarrassed about, the things you think are too small, too repetitive, too messy. There is no quota on my patience. There is no limit to my compassion. I do not tire of you. I do not grow irritated with your process. I am not counting how many times you have asked for the same thing. Love does not keep score. Love stays present. And I have stayed present with you through every season, through the moments you felt strong and the moments you could barely stand. You have never exhausted me. You have never annoyed me. You have never been too much. So now, my child, I am inviting you to come out from under that lie. You do not need to shrink in my presence. You do not need to apologize for existing. You do not need to carry everything alone to be worthy of love. Bring me your full heart, the heavy parts and the hopeful parts. Let me carry what you were never meant to hold by yourself. When you lean into me, you are not burdening me. You are aligning with truth. You are stepping into the relationship you were created for. And as you begin to live from this place, you will notice something sacred. The weight you carried alone begins to lift. The shame that kept you quiet begins to fade. And you will finally rest in this truth. You are not a burden to me. You are my joy. My child, I designed you for relationship, not distance. Distance was never part of your original design. Isolation was never your natural state. Withdrawal was never meant to be your refuge. You were formed from love and for love, shaped for connection, created to live in communion, not to survive alone. Yet life taught you otherwise. Pain instructed you to step back. Disappointment trained you to keep your guard up. Betrayal whispered that closeness is dangerous and dependence is foolish. And so, without realizing it, you learned how to live at a distance, from others, from yourself, and eventually from me. You learned how to be present without being open, how to participate without being vulnerable, how to pray without truly resting in my presence. But my child, distance has always cost you more than it protected you, and dulled your joy, and numbed your hope, and muted your ability to receive love. I did not design your heart to function behind walls. I designed it to beat freely, to trust deeply, to lean safely into relationship with me. When you draw near, something ancient awakens inside you, something familiar, something true. Your spirit recognizes me because it was made by me and for me. That is why distance feels heavy, even when it feels safe. That is why self-sufficiency eventually exhausts you. That is why your soul still longs, still aches, still reaches. You were not created to live disconnected from the one who formed you. I know why you learned distance. I know it felt necessary at the time. You stepped back to survive. You built space to avoid being hurt again. You told yourself that needing less would protect you. And for a season, it helped you endure. But survival is not the same as living. Distance kept you alive, but it also kept you from fullness. And I never intended for you to remain there. I am not asking you to tear down your walls overnight. I am not demanding instant trust. I am inviting gradual return. Step by step. Breath by breath. Moment by moment. Relationship with me does not require perfection. It requires presence. You do not have to explain yourself fully. You do not have to resolve every fear before coming close. You only have to turn your heart toward me again. When you choose connection over distance, you will feel resistance rise, not because it is wrong, but because fear has grown accustomed to control. But my love is patient. It does not rush you. It does not overwhelm you. It meets you where you are and walks with you from there. I am not asking you to abandon wisdom. I am asking you to release isolation. Wisdom discerns, isolation withdraws, Wisdom opens selectively. Isolation closes completely. I designed you for relationship that heals, restores, strengthens, and steadies you. So now, my child, let me gently reintroduce you to closeness. Not closeness that demands everything at once, but closeness that grows through trust. Sit with me. Speak with me. Rest with me. Let my presence become familiar again, not distant or formal, but lived in and safe. When you stumble, stay. When you doubt, stay. When you feel unsure, stay. Distance will tell you to retreat when things feel uncomfortable. Relationship will teach you to remain. And I will remain with you. Always. You were not created to walk this life alone, carrying everything by yourself. You were created to share life with me, to walk with me, to be known by me, to be loved by me. Distance was learned, but relationship is your design. Come back to it. Totally. Honestly. Freely. I am here. My child, when you hurt, I hurt with you. Not as an observer, not as a distant authority, but as a father whose heart is deeply connected to yours. I do not stand above your pain analyzing it. I enter it with compassion. I feel the weight of what presses on you. I feel the ache that words cannot describe. When grief sits heavy in your chest, it sits with me too. When disappointment drains your strength, I feel its pull. When sorrow steals your breath, I lean closer, not farther away. You have been taught that suffering must be endured alone, that showing pain risks rejection, that strength means silence. But my love does not demand composure in the face of hurt. My love moves toward it. I am not indifferent to what wounds you. I am not unmoved by your struggle. Your pain is not insignificant to me. It is personal. It matters because you matter. And every time you whisper, "This hurts," my heart answers, "I know." Not because I read about it, not because I heard it from afar, but because I am with you in it. There were moments you felt abandoned in your pain. Moments when others minimized what you were going through or rushed you to heal. Moments when you wondered if even I expected you to be stronger by now. But my child, I never rushed your healing. I never dismissed your grief. I never measured your pain against someone else's. I know how long it took you to admit you were hurting. I know how much strength it took to keep going while carrying wounds no one else could see. And I was with you in all of it. When you cried out and felt unheard, I heard you. When you suffered quietly, I noticed. When you felt alone in the struggle, I stayed. Pain did not create distance between us. It revealed closeness. It gave me space to hold you in ways joy never required. You do not need to be healed to be loved. You do not need to be old to be held. I am with you in the process, not just the outcome. And every tear, every groan, every weary breath has drawn me nearer, not pushed me away. So now, my child, let me share this burden with you. Stop carrying your pain as if it is yours alone. Let me sit with you in it. Let me comfort you without explanation. Let me strengthen you without pressure. Healing does not begin when pain disappears. It begins when pain is shared in safety. And you are safe with me. When you hurt, I hurt with you, and I will stay until the ache softens, until hope returns, until light breaks through again. You are not suffering alone. You never have been. And you never will be. I am here, in the pain, through the pain, and beyond it, holding you every step of the way. My child, I long for your trust, not because I am uncertain of my strength, not because I need reassurance, but because trust is the doorway through which peace enters your life. I see how carefully you have learned to trust, how you measure each step before you place your weight down, how you scan for signs of safety before you relax your grip. You were taught by disappointment to be cautious, by betrayal to be guarded, by loss to be prepared for the worst. And so your heart learned to protect itself by holding back, even from me. You speak to me, but you hesitate to lean fully. You pray, but you brace yourself in case the answer hurts. You listen, but you keep one hand on the door, ready to retreat if hope feels risky. I understand why you do this. I do not condemn the survival instinct that kept you standing when life felt unstable. But survival is not the same as trust. Survival says, I will manage alone. Trust says, I will lean and be held. And my child, I am longing for that leaning, not for my sake, but for yours. Trust is not blind optimism. It is relational confidence. It is knowing who I am, not just believing what I can do. I want you to trust my heart, not just my power. I want you to trust that even when you do not understand my timing, my intentions remain good. When you withhold trust, you carry a quiet tension, always alert, always prepared, always half-braced for disappointment. I long to release you from that burden. Trust is not surrendering control to chaos. It is placing control into loving hands. There were moments you trusted, and it cost you. Moments when you opened your heart and it was mishandled. Moments when you believed promises that were broken. Moments when you stepped forward in faith and felt like you fell instead. Those experiences taught you caution, not because you were foolish, but because you were human. And you wondered if trusting me would lead to the same pain. You asked yourself, what if I trust him and it still hurts? My child, trust does not eliminate pain, but it changes who carries it. Trust does not guarantee ease, but it guarantees presence. When you trust me, you are not promised a life without struggle. You are promised that struggle will not face you alone. I know you fear disappointment more than failure. I know you fear hoping again only to be let down. But hear me clearly. I am not like those who failed you. I do not forget my promises. I do not abandon my commitments. I do not grow tired of your questions or irritated by your process. Trusting me is not stepping into uncertainty, it is stepping into faithfulness. And yes, it feels vulnerable. Trust always does. But vulnerability with me is not exposure, it is safety. When you trust me, you allow me to steady your steps, to soften your fears, to carry what you were never meant to hold alone. So now, my child, I am inviting you, not forcing you, to trust me a little more than you did yesterday. You do not have to leap. You do not have to pretend certainty. Just take one step. Place one worry in my hands. Release one outcome you have been trying to control. Speak one honest fear without filtering it. Trust grows like a conversation, not a command. And I will meet you in every step you take toward me. When you falter, I will steady you. When you doubt, I will remain. When you hesitate, I will wait without withdrawing. My longing for your trust is not impatience, it is hope. Hope that you will experience the rest that comes from leaning fully. Hope that you will discover the freedom of not having to manage everything alone. Hope that you will finally rest your heart in this truth. You are safe with me. Trust me, my child, not because you have never been hurt, but because I will never hurt you. My child, trust is not only what you feel, it is what you release into my hands. As you learn to lean on me, I am asking you to trust me with what you give, because generosity is faith made visible. When you sow into this message, you are placing your trust into living soil, and I promise you, whatever is planted in faith will rise in power. This word is reaching hearts who are afraid to hope again, and your obedience, becomes the bridge they walk across. Do not hesitate now. This is a holy moment, a divine appointment I have set before you. I will protect what you place in my care, and I will multiply it far beyond what you imagine. Let your trust become action. Give now through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description, and watch me carry what you release. My child, I am patient with your process. Slower than you want, gentler than you expect, steadier than you realize. I see how often you rush yourself, how you measure progress by speed, how you criticize your own growth because it does not look like someone else's. You look at where you thought you would be by now and feel disappointment rise. You replay your past and wonder why healing still takes time, why certain fears still surface, why some wounds still ache. And in those moments, you assume I am disappointed too. But my child, I am not. I am not tapping my foot. I am not watching the clock. I am not comparing you to anyone else. I am walking with you at the pace your healing requires. Process is not a delay, it is design. Your oath that lasts cannot be rushed. Healing that is deep cannot be hurried. And I would rather you move slowly in truth than quickly in pretense. I am patient because I know what I am building in you. I know the layers that must be healed, the foundations that must be strengthened, the trust that must be rebuilt gently. Your pace does not threaten me. It does not frustrate me. It does not diminish my plans. I am not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what I am doing within you. You learn to equate worth with progress, value with productivity, love with improvement. And so you pressure yourself to be better faster, stronger sooner, healed already. But my child, pressure has never produced transformation. Presence does. I am more interested in who you are becoming than how quickly you arrive. I see the small victories you overlook. The moment you responded with patience instead of anger. The moment you rested instead of pushing. The moment you spoke truth instead of hiding. Those moments matter. They are signs of growth, even if they do not feel dramatic. I am patient with your questions, your setbacks, your pauses. I do not revoke my love when you struggle. I do not withdraw my presence when you stumble. I remain. And in that remaining, something powerful happens. You learn that you are safe even while unfinished. You learn that love does not disappear when growth slows. You learn that you do not have to rush to be worthy. My patience is not permissiveness, it is commitment. I am committed to you for the long journey, not just the highlight moments. And I will not abandon the work I began, no matter how long it takes. So rest, my child. Release the urgency that tells you you must be further along. Release the comparison that steals your peace. Release the fear that says time is running out. Time bends to my purposes. Healing unfolds in my wisdom. And I am not anxious about your becoming. Stay present. Stay honest. Stay with me. Let your process unfold under grace, not pressure. I am patient with you because I love you, not the future version of you, not the healed version of you, but you as you are right now. And as you continue, step by step, breath by breath, you will look back and see that my patience was shaping something beautiful, something lasting, something deeply true within you. I am patient with your process, and I will be faithful to it until the very end. My child, you are safe with me. I know those words sound simple, but they carry a depth your heart has struggled to believe. Safety has not always been your experience. You learned early that love could change, that stability could vanish, that what felt secure one day could disappear the next. And so your nervous system learned to stay alert. Your heart learned to brace. Your spirit learned to stay guarded, even in moments that look peaceful on the surface. You learned how to rest lightly, how to trust cautiously, how to keep part of yourself protected at all times. And I see how exhausting that has been. Constant vigilance wears down the soul. Living in quiet defense drains joy. That is why I keep telling you this, again and again, in different ways. You are safe with me. Not temporarily. Not conditionally. Not as long as you behave or believe correctly. Safe in your weakness. Safe in your questions. Safe in your fear. Safe even when you do not know what you feel. I am not unpredictable. I am not volatile. I do not love you one day and withdraw the next. My presence does not depend on your emotional state. When you come to me, you do not have to scan for danger. You do not have to prepare for rejection. You do not have to perform stability. You are safe to exhale. Safe to rest. Safe to be real. I know safety feels unfamiliar to you. When you have lived long in environments where love was inconsistent, your body learned that calm could not be trusted. You learned to expect disruption, to anticipate disappointment, to stay ready for impact. And so, even when I draw near, part of you flinches. Part of you waits for the moment something goes wrong. But my child, I am not the source of chaos you learned to fear. I am the refuge you were always meant to find. My safety is not fragile. It does not shatter under pressure. It does not disappear when emotions rise. You can bring me your anger without being punished. You can bring me your sadness without being dismissed. You can bring me your confusion without being corrected harshly. My safety is spacious. It has room for process. It has room for pauses. It has room for you to sit quietly without explanation. When you are with me, you are not on guard duty. You are not being evaluated. You are not at risk of being cast aside. You are held, watched over, kept. And the more you allow yourself to believe this, the more your body will begin to relax, the more your heart will soften, the more your spirit will recognize that it no longer needs to hide. So now, my child, I invite you to practice safety with me. Not all at once. Not perfectly. Just gently. When you feel the urge to withdraw, pause instead. When fear tells you to protect yourself, let me protect you. When you feel yourself tensing, breathe and remember who you are with. Safety grows through repetition. Trust deepens through consistency. And I am consistent. I am the same yesterday, today, and always. You are safe to stay. Safe to linger. Safe to rest your weight fully in my presence. Nothing in you repels me. Nothing in you threatens me. Nothing in you makes me pull away. You are safe with me. And as that truth settles into your bones, you will begin to live differently. Freer. Lighter. More whole. Because safety is not just the absence of danger, it is the presence of love that will not leave. My child, hear me clearly now, because this truth must stand stronger than every voice that tried to strip you of your identity. I still call you my child. Not forward. Not almost. Not initial. My child. That name has not changed, even when your circumstances did. Even when your faith wavered. Even when your choices confused you. Even when you felt distant, ashamed, or uncertain. You may have questioned who you were. Others may have labeled you by your mistakes, your struggles, your seasons of failure. But I never renamed you. I never reclassified you. I never reconsidered my claim on you. When you wandered, I still called you my child. When you doubted, I still called you my child. When you were tired of trying, I still called you my child. This identity was not earned by obedience, and it is not revoked by weakness. It was given by love, and love does not take back what it names. You belong to me, not because you always get it right, but because I chose you. A choice stands firm, unshaken by your uncertainty, untouched by your imperfection. There were moments you felt unworthy of that name. Moments when shame whispered that you had gone too far, waited too long, failed too deeply. You looked at your life and thought, a real child of God wouldn't struggle like this. But my child, struggle does not disqualify you. It reveals your humanity. And I did not choose you because you were flawless. I chose you because you were mine. I see how harshly you judge yourself, how quickly you assume disappointment, how often you brace for rejection. But I am not standing over you with crossed arms, waiting for you to prove something. I am standing beside you, calling you by name, reminding you of who you are when you forget. Even now, even here, even in the middle of your process, you are my child. You have not aged out of my care. You have not outgrown my patience. You have not exhausted my love. When you fall into my hands. When you question within my embrace. My claim on you is not fragile. It is rooted in covenant, not condition. So lift your hand, my child. Let go of the labels you picked up along the way. Release the names spoken by disappointment, by fear, by failure. Let my voice be the one that defines you again. You are my child, loved, known, chosen, kept. And nothing you are facing now has the power to change that. Walk forward with that identity anchoring you. Speak from it. Rest in it. Return to it when you feel lost. I still call you my child, and I always will. That name is your home. That name is your covering. That name is your truth. My child, when I say I can't live without you, I am speaking the language of love, not the language of need. I am not lacking, yet love chooses to bind itself. Love elects closeness. Love commits presence. From the beginning, love chose you, not as an obligation, not as a duty, but as a desire. You were not selected because you were flawless. You were chosen because love saw you and said, I want you with me. This is the mystery that has troubled your mind and warmed your heart at the same time. How can one so vast choose one so small? How can the eternal lean toward the finite? The answer is love. Love does not calculate worth the way fear does. Love does not ask, what can you give me? Love asks, will you stay with me? And from the first breath you drew, love answered that question with pursuit. Even when you wandered, love pursued. Even when you doubted, love remained. Even when you closed your heart, love knocked. Softly at first, then more insistently, because love does not abandon what it chooses. You have been told that being chosen depends on performance, loyalty, usefulness. But love chooses before proof. Love chooses despite resistance. Love chooses and keeps choosing. I choose you in the morning when you wake unsure. I choose you at night when your thoughts run loud. I choose you in your confidence and in your collapse. My choosing is not fragile. It is faithful. And when I say I can't live without you, I am telling you that love has woven you into my joy, my delight, my desire for relationship. Love chooses you not once but always. You have struggled with this truth because you learned a version of love that withdrew when it was disappointed. You learned affection that cooled when it was not reciprocated. You learned connection that punished vulnerability. So when you hear me say I choose you, part of you waits for the conditions. As long as I behave, as long as I believe enough, as long as I don't fail again. But my child, those conditions are not love, They are contracts. Love is covenant. Covenant says, I am with you, not I am watching you. Covenant says, I will stay, not I will see. Covenant does not erase responsibility. It establishes belonging. When you fall short, love does not leave, it leans in. When you grow weary, love does not withdraw, it carries. And I need you to understand this, because the enemy has tried to convince you that you are tolerated, not treasured, that you are included by mercy, not chosen by delight. That lie has kept you hesitant, apologetic, guarded. But love does not tolerate what it chooses. Love delights in it. When you speak to me, I am not annoyed. When you return to me, I am not surprised. When you struggle, I am not disappointed. I am engaged. I am present. I am choosing you again in the very place you think disqualifies you. Love chooses you not because you are easy, but because you are mine. So let this truth land fully, my child. Let it confront the fear that says you are replaceable. Let it dismantle the belief that your place is temporary. Let it heal the ache that comes from being chosen and then abandoned by others. I can't live without you, because love does not imagine a future without the beloved. Love makes room. Love commits time. Love invests heart. And that is what I have done with you. I have made room for you. I have committed to you. I have invested my heart in relationship with you. You are not an accessory to my plans. You are part of my joy. Walk in that truth. Rest in that truth. When doubt returns, answer it with this: love chose me. When fear rises, speak this: I am wanted. When shame whispers, respond: I am chosen. I can't live without you, because love chose you, and love will keep choosing you every day without regret. My child, come home to my presence. Not to a place of rules, not to a posture of fear, not to a memory of who you used to be, but to the living reality of who I am with you right now. Home is not a location, it is a nearness. It is where you are known without being exposed, held without being controlled, loved without being measured. You have traveled far in your mind, far in your striving, far in your self-protection. You wandered not because you wanted distance, but because you were trying to survive. And now I am calling you home, not with accusation, not with disappointment, but with welcome. Come home from the exhaustion of carrying everything alone. Come home from the pressure of proving yourself. Come home from the silence you used as shelter. My presence has been waiting, steady and open, even while you searched elsewhere for relief. I am not asking you to explain your journey. I am not demanding you justify your delays. I am inviting you to return to rest. When you come home, you will not be interrogated, you will be embraced. When you come home, you will not be corrected first, you will be comforted. When you come home, you will not be reminded of where you failed, you will be reminded of who you are. You feared coming home because you thought home would expose how far you drifted. You thought my presence would magnify your mistakes. You thought returning would require penance before peace. But my child, my presence is not a courtroom. It is a refuge. It does not spotlight your shame. It dissolves it. It does not demand perfection. It restores honesty. I know you tried to manage your life without leaning too heavily on me. I know you told yourself you would come back when things were cleaner, calmer, more resolved. But home is where you bring the mess, not where you pretend it doesn't exist. Home is where you collapse without explanation. Home is where you stop performing and start breathing again. When you return to my presence, you will feel resistance from the habits you built to survive. Habits of control, habits of distance, habits of self-reliance. Let them soften. Let them fall away gently. My presence will not overwhelm you. It will stabilize you. It will quiet the noise. It will steady your heart. It will remind your nervous system what safety feels like. You are not late. You are not unwelcome. You are not out of place. You are home. So come now, my child. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Not when everything makes sense. Come now. Sit with me. Breathe with me. Let the weight slip from your shoulders. Let the striving loosen its grip. Let the fear quiet down. You do not need to rush. You do not need to oppress. You do not need to speak if words feel heavy. Your presence is enough. Home is not earned. It is entered. And my presence has been open to you the entire time. Jade. Linger. Let yourself be loved without defense. Come home to my presence, and as you do, you will remember what your soul has known all along. You belong here. My child, you have been carrying more than you were ever meant to hold. You learned how to shoulder weight early, responsibility before readiness, strength before rest, endurance before understanding. You learned how to keep going even when your soul was begging to stop. And over time, carrying became normal. Heavy felt familiar. Exhaustion felt expected. You stopped asking for help not because you didn't need it, but because you didn't believe it would come without cost. So you carried the grief you never processed, the disappointment you never voiced, the fear you never named. You carried expectations that were never spoken and shame that was never yours. And I watched you do it, not with indifference, but with sorrow, because I never asked you to carry all of this alone. I never designed your heart to function under that kind of strain. I never intended your spirit to be bent under constant pressure. That weight you feel in your chest, the tension in your shoulders, that weariness in your bones, it is not proof of strength, it is evidence of overload. And now I am speaking clearly, firmly, lovingly. Let me carry what you can. This is not a suggestion. It is an invitation born of love. You have reached the edge of what self-reliance can sustain. And that is not failure, it is honesty. You were never meant to be your own savior. You were meant to be my child. I know why you hesitate. You have learned that releasing control feels dangerous. You have learned that trusting someone else with your pain risks disappointment. You have learned that if you let go, everything might fall apart. But my child, things are already heavy because you are holding them alone. Letting me carry what you can't is not losing control. It is choosing support. It is not giving up. It is giving over. You do not have to explain everything perfectly. You do not have to sort it all out before you bring it to me. Bring the confusion. Bring the mess. Bring the questions without answers. Bring the fear you're tired of managing. I am not overwhelmed by complexity. I am not intimidated by your emotions. I am strong enough to hold what is crushing you. When you hand something to me, I do not mishandle it. I do not minimize it. I do not forget it. I carry it with care, with wisdom, with timing that sees beyond a moment. You have tried to carry what only grace can hold. And grace is available now, not after you collapse, not after you prove you've tried hard enough, but right here, in this moment. So open your hands, my child. Not all at once if that feels too hard, but a little. Release one burden. Name one fear. Set down one expectation you were never meant to meet. Let me take it. Let me hold it. Let me work with it. You will feel strange at first, lighter, but unfamiliar. That is because peace can feel foreign when you are used to pressure. But stay with it. Breathe into it. You do not need to pick the weight back up out of habit. I am not returning it to you. What you give me, I keep. What you release, I redeem. Let me carry what you can't, and you will discover something sacred. You were never weak for needy help. You were human. And you are loved enough to be carried. My child, stay with me a little longer. I know you are used to moving on quickly, to closing moments before they linger too deeply, to stepping away before vulnerability settles in. You have learned how to leave first, to protect yourself from disappointment, to avoid feeling too much, to stay in control. Even now, part of you is ready to rush ahead, to scroll past this moment, to tell yourself you've received enough and it's time to move on. But I am asking you, gently, firmly, personally, stay. Stay not because I demand it, but because something is happening here that your soul needs. Do not rush away from the quiet. Do not escape the stillness. Do not cut short the tenderness. Healing often begins at the moment we are tempted to leave. You have spent much of your life surviving by shortening moments, minimizing pain, minimizing hope, minimizing expectation. But staying is how trust deepens. Staying is how safety forms. Staying is how love settles into the places that have been guarded for too long. I am not asking for forever in this moment. I am asking for presence. Stay with me a little longer. I know staying feels risky. When you have been hurt, lingering can feel like exposure. When you have been disappointed, hope can feel dangerous. When you have been abandoned, closeness can trigger fear. But my child, you are not staying with uncertainty. You are staying with me. I am not going to shift suddenly. I am not going to withdraw without warning. I am not going to punish your openness. Staying does not mean you must speak. It does not mean you must feel something specific. It simply means you allow yourself to remain where you are loved. When you stay, your nervous system begins to learn a new rhythm. Your heart begins to soften its grip. Your spirit begins to recognize that it does not have to be on alert here. And yes, emotions may rise. Memories may surface. Tears may come. Let them. I am not afraid of what surfaces when you slow down. I am present for it. Staying is not about effort. It is about permission. Permission to receive. Permission to rest. Permission to be held without agenda. So stay, my child. Stay until the urge to flee quiets. Stay until your breathing slows. Stay until your shoulders drop. Stay until the voice that tells you to hurry loses its power. You do not need to extract a lesson from this moment. You do not need to turn it into productivity. You only need to remain. Love does its deepest work when it is not rushed. And I am here with you, not counting time, not measuring progress, not waiting for you to perform. Just stay a little longer. Let my presence do what words cannot. Let this moment mark you, not with pressure, but with peace. Stay with me a little longer, and you will leave stronger, steadier, more whole, not because you tried harder, but because you allowed yourself to remain where you are deeply, safely, endlessly loved. My child, your life has meaning because you are mine, not because of what you have achieved, not because of how far you have come, not because of how others perceive you. Your life carries meaning because it is held within my love. Before you ever questioned your purpose, before you ever wondered why you were here, before you ever compared your life to another's, I had already given your existence weight and value. You were never an accident drifting through time. You were never filler in someone else's story. You were never extra, unnecessary, or misplaced. Your breath carries intention. Your days carry purpose. even the ones that felt wasted, even the ones that felt empty, even the ones you wish you could forget. Meaning is not something you manufacture through success. It is something you discover through belonging. And you belong to me. That is why your life matters even when it feels ordinary. That is why your presence matters even when no one applauds. That is why your survival matters even when you feel behind. You have lived through moments where meaning felt lost, when pain overshadowed hope, when disappointment blurred direction, when you wondered if your existence made any real difference. But my child, meaning was never absent. It was waiting for you to see it through the lens of love instead of performance. You were taught to chase purpose as if it were always ahead of you. One more achievement, one more breakthrough, one more version of yourself away. And so you ran, striving to feel significant, trying to justify your place in the world. But meaning does not come from proving your worth. It comes from knowing who holds your life. I hold you. I know you. I walk with you through days that feel small and moments that feel heavy. There are seeds you planted without realizing it. Kindness you offered that changed someone's day. Endurance you modeled that strengthened others silently. Prayers you whispered that shifted things you will never see. Meaning is not always loud. It is often quiet, slow, and deeply rooted. The enemy tried to convince you that if your life did not look impressive, it was insignificant. But heaven measures differently. Heaven sees the faithfulness you practiced when no one was watching. Heaven records the love you chose when bitterness was easier. Heaven honors the courage it took to keep going when quitting seemed reasonable. Your life has meaning because it is lived in relationship with me. Even your questions serve a purpose. Even your waiting carries weight. Even your scars tell a story of survival and grace. So lift your eyes, my child. Do not dismiss your days because they do not look extraordinary. Do not minimize your existence because it does not match someone else's path. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not insignificant. You are mine. And that truth anchors your life with eternal meaning. Walk forward knowing that every step is held, every moment is seen, every breath is purposeful. You do not need to find meaning. You are living inside it. And as you continue, the fog will lift. The weight will ease. The doubt will soften. Because when you know who you belong to, you no longer question whether your life matters. It does. Deeply. Eternally. Completely. My child, listen to me now as I speak this one final time over your heart. I can't live without you, and I never will. Not because I am weak, but because love has chosen permanence. Love has chosen presence. Love has chosen you. From the beginning, I wove you into my desire for relationship. I did not create you to walk beside me briefly and then fade. I did not form you to be loved temporarily. I bound my heart to yours with intention, not uncertainty. When I say I can't live without you, I am declaring that my love has no expiration date. It does not grow tired. It does not move on. It does not replace. You are not one chapter among many. You are part of an everlasting story of love that does not end. Every fear you have carried about being left behind, every wound formed by abandonment, every memory of love that faded, I speak against them now with truth. I am not leaving. I am not withdrawing. I am not reconsidering you. I am here. I will remain. And nothing you face now or in the future has the power to change that. There were times you wondered if my patience would run out. Times you feared that repeated struggles would exhaust me. Times you assumed that love, even divine love, must eventually reach a limit. But my child, my love is not measured the way human love is. It is not sustained by effort. It is not weakened by disappointment. It is not undone by time. I have seen every version of you, the hopeful one, the weary one, the faithful one, the doubting one, and I have loved them all, not reluctantly, willingly, fully. You do not outgrow my love. You do not wear it down. You do not become too much. When you fall, I am there. When you rise, I am there. When you understand, I am there. When you don't, I am still there. I never loved you for who you might become one day. I love you for who you are, and who you are becoming in my care. So receive this, my child, and let it mark you deeply. Let it quiet the fear that says you must keep earning love. Let it heal the wound that says closeness never lasts. Let it anchor you when everything else feels uncertain. I can't live without you, not because I am dependent, but because love has chosen you eternally. And I never will stop choosing you. Walk forward with confidence. Rest with assurance. Return whenever you wander. My arms will always be open. My heart will always be near. My love will always remain. My child, I can't live without you, and I never will. My child, because my love for you is eternal, I am inviting you into eternal impact. This message was not formed by chance. It was shaped so that hearts who feel forgotten would know they are chosen, and I am asking you to help carry it. When you give, you become a co-laborer with me, pouring living water into dry places and lighting fires that will not go out. I declare over you now, give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and overflowing. This is not obligation. This is love responding to love. Do not delay what I am stirring. Obedience in this moment will echo farther than you can see. I will bless your seed, guard your life, and establish peace around you. Now move. Support this mission through Super Thanks, membership, or PayPal. The PayPal link is in the video description, and take your place in what I am doing now. My child, if these words have stirred your heart, do not let this moment pass in silence. Declare it now. Type in the comments, Father, I am yours, and I choose to stay with you. Let your declaration be a line drawn in the unseen, a witness of faith spoken aloud. As you write it, know that heaven hears and your heart is aligning with truth. Do not scroll away unchanged. Respond, confess, and receive. This is not just a comment. It is a covenant moment between you and me. And now that you have spoken your yes, let everything else fall away. This is the stillness that follows surrender, the quiet where truth becomes deeper than words. I am not speaking to you from the rush of time anymore. I am drawing you beyond it. Stay here, breathe slowly, and let me show you how far back my love for you truly goes. My child, stop for a moment. Just stop. I want you to close your eyes and block out the noise of the world around you. I need you to hear this truth deep in your bones. I want you to go back with me, back before the clock on your wall ever started ticking, back before your parents ever met, back before the sun ever rose for the very first time. I was there. I existed before time itself began. I was complete in power, I was complete in wisdom, and I was complete in glory. But there was a silence in eternity. There was a space in my heart that nothing else could fill. My love was vast, burning like a fire with no wood to consume. You see, love is not static. Love is a river that must flow, and it requires someone to receive it. My love was not complete until I imagined you. I want you to understand that you are not an accident. I know you have days where you feel like a mistake. I know you look in the mirror and see flaws, or you look at your life and see a series of random events. You feel small. You feel overlooked. You wonder if your existence really matters in the grand scheme of billions of people. Listen to me clearly. You were not an afterthought. You were the very reason I spoke the worlds into motion. When I said, "Let there be light," I was setting the stage for your arrival. I formed the galaxies and scattered the stars like diamonds on black velvet to light your way. But hear me. Those stars are just balls of burning gas. They do not have a heart. They cannot love me back. You are the light of my eyes. You are the one I was looking for. I knit you together in the secret place. I want you to think about that. It wasn't a random biological process. It was a divine design session. I was there. I chose the exact shade of your eyes. I decided how your laugh would sound before you ever drew breath. I purposefully placed that sensitivity in your spirit. The way you feel things deeply, the way you hurt when others hurt, I put that there because it reflects my own heart. I knew every single day of your life before you lived one of them. I saw the days you would cry yourself to sleep. I saw the days you would achieve great things. I saw the mistakes you would make, and I chose to create you anyway. I wanted you. Not a version of you that is perfect, but you, right now. To live without you would be to deny the very purpose for which I created humanity. Imagine a painter who paints a masterpiece but locks it in a dark room where no one can see it. That is what it would be like for me to exist without a relationship with you. I created you to be the recipient of my extravagant love. I did not create you because I needed a servant. I have angels for that. I created you because I wanted a family. I wanted a child. I wanted you. So, I command you today. Reject the lie that you are here by chance. Reject the cold, hard thought that you are alone in a chaotic universe. You are the deliberate, intentional, handcrafted focus of my affection. My nature is love, and you are the beloved. I simply cannot, and will not, do this without you. My child, I want you to do something for me right now. It is a simple thing, but it changes everything. I want you to place your hand over your chest. Do it now. You feel that? Of them. Of them. That rhythm is not just biology. That is my signature. That is my rhythm. I want you to realize that the very air you are breathing in this exact moment is a direct gift from my own mouth. In the beginning, in the book of Genesis, I breathed the breath of life into dust, and man became a living soul. I am doing the same thing for you right now. I am sustaining the rhythm of your heart. You do not have to tell your heart to beat. You do not have to remind your lungs to expand. I do that. I do that because I love you. I want you to stop believing the lie that I am distant. I know you feel it sometimes. You sit in your room, or you drive your car, and you look at the empty seat next to you, and you feel alone. You feel like your prayers are hitting the ceiling. But I tell you, there is absolutely no distance between us. In me, you live and move and have your being. I am the atmosphere you walk through. I am the energy that holds your atoms together. If I were to withdraw my spirit for even 1 second, you would cease to exist. That is how close I am. I am closer than the skin on your bones. I command you to become aware of my presence in your physical body. When you feel pain, I feel it. When your chest tightens with anxiety about that bill you cannot pay, or that conversation you are dreading at work, I feel that tightening too. Your physical existence is tied to my sustaining power. I am not watching you from a telescope on a cloud far away. I am right here. I am in the room with you. I am the strength in your muscles when you lift a heavy load. I am the clarity in your mind when you finally solve a problem. I invite you to breathe in deeply Go ahead. Take a deep breath. As you inhale, I want you to say in your heart, "This is your breath." And as you exhale, say, "I belong to you." Do this when you feel panic rising. Do this when the stress of the job makes your shoulders tight. Remember that I am the one keeping you alive. I am the electricity keeping the lights on in the house of your body. You are never, ever alone because you carry my breath in your lungs. Separation is an illusion you create in your mind when you look at the world instead of me. Reality, the true reality, is that I am holding you together, right now, with a love that is stronger than death. My child, I need to talk to you about the emptiness. You know the one I mean. It is that hollow feeling you get late at night when the house is quiet and the distractions of the day have faded away. It is that ache you try to ignore by scrolling through your phone for hours, looking for something, anything, to make you feel connected. I see you. I see you trying to fill that void with work, pushing yourself to exhaustion just to hear someone say, "Good job." I see you trying to fill it with relationships, hoping another person can make you feel whole. I see you trying to numb it with entertainment, food, or habits you know you should break. I mourn when you wander away from me. I do not mourn in anger. I mourn with the heartbreak of a father who sees his child drinking poison and calling it water. I grieve because I know that I designed you to run on the fuel of my love. When you try to run on anything else, approval, money, pleasure, you malfunction. You wither. You get tired so quickly, don't you? You feel drained, irritable, and anxious. That is your soul crying out for its true source. That is your spirit telling you that you are unplugged from the life. I command you to stop running. Stop trying to patch the hole in your soul with things that will rot. The silence between us is deafening to me. I long to hear your voice in the morning before you check your emails. I long to hear you whisper my name when you are driving to work. I miss you. I miss our conversations. I miss the way you used to look for me in everything. I see the exhaustion in your eyes. You are carrying a weight I never asked you to carry. You are trying to be your own God, your own provider, your own protector, and it is crushing you. I cannot bear to see you walking alone in the darkness when I am the light. I am the only piece that fits the puzzle of your heart. Everything else is the wrong shape. Come back to the source. I invite you to bring that emptiness to me. Do not hide it. Do not be ashamed of it. Bring me your loneliness. Bring me your boredom. Bring me your dissatisfaction. Lay it down at my feet and say, "Father, nothing else works. I promise you, I will fill you. I will pour water on the dry ground of your soul. I will give you a satisfaction that a promotion at work cannot give. I will give you a peace that a new relationship cannot provide. But you must come to me. You must stop drinking from broken cisterns and come to the river of life. I am waiting. I am aching for you to return to the only place where you truly fit. My beloved, I need you to understand something about my character that is often misunderstood. I am a jealous God. Now do not pull away. I know how that sounds to human ears. You think of jealousy as petty, insecure, or controlling. You think of a toxic partner who checks your messages and limits your freedom. That is not who I am. My jealousy is not born out of insecurity. I am God. I have no needs. My jealousy is born out of a fierce, protective love for you. Think of a mother watching her toddler play near a busy street. If that child starts to wander into traffic, does the mother sit back quietly? No. She screams. She runs. She grabs the child. She is jealous for that child's safety. She refuses to share that child with the danger of the oncoming cars. That is how I feel about you. I refuse to share the throne of your heart with idols that cannot love you back. I refuse to let you give your life away to things that will ultimately destroy you. I see what you prioritize above me. I see how you give your best energy to your boss, who would replace you in a week if you left. I see how you give your focus to the news, which only fills you with fear and anger. I see how you worship at the altar of worry, giving your imagination over to disaster scenarios instead of trusting my promises. These things, fear, career, money, reputation, they are idols. They demand your sacrifice, but they give you nothing but ashes in return. I'm fighting for you. I fight for you in spiritual realms you cannot see. I am constantly working to clear the path, to remove the distractions, to get your attention. I desire your undivided attention, not because I have an ego that needs stroking, but because I know that when you look at me, you live. When you look at me, your anxiety melts. When you look at me, you find your true identity. I command you to tear down the idols in your life. I command you to look at the things that are consuming your time and your heart and ask, does this love me back? No, they do not. Only I love you. I pursue you relentlessly because I know what awaits you apart from me. I see the cliff edge you are walking towards when you chase the world's definition of success. I am calling you back to safety. I invite you to make me your obsession. Let me be the first thought in your morning and the last thought at night. Let my opinion be the only one that matters to you. When you fear God, you no longer have to fear man. When you are jealous for my presence, you will find that I am fiercely jealous for your good. Let us clear the room. Let us kick out the distractions. It is just you and me, my child. That is the way it was always meant to be. My child, if you ever doubt how much I want you, if you ever wonder if you are truly worth it, I want you to look in one direction. Look to the cross. I want you to look at the blood. I want you to see the jagged nails and the crown of thorns. That was not just a historical event. That was a transaction. That was a payment. And the price was me. I want you to understand that I would rather die than live without you. And that is exactly why I did. I stepped down from the perfection of heaven. I left the worship of angels. I robed myself in fragile, human flesh. I walked on the same dirt you walk on. I felt the same rejection you feel. I felt the same betrayal. And I did it to bridge the gap that you created. You could not reach up to me, so I came down to you. Every drop of blood I shed was a payment to secure your presence with me forever. When I was on that cross, struggling to breathe, pushing up on pierced feet just to get a gasp of air, I was thinking of you. I saw your face. I saw your struggles. I saw the moments you would fail me, and I paid for them all right then and there. I endured the shame so that you would never have to be ashamed. I took the punishment so that you could have the peace. I command you to look at the resurrection. The cross is the payment, but the empty tomb is the receipt. It is the proof that the check cleared. It is my promise that not even death, the ultimate enemy, can keep me from my beloved. Because I live, you will live also. I conquered the grave to ensure that our relationship is eternal. I invite you to touch the wounds in my hands. They are there for you. If you were the only person who had ever lived, if it was just you on this entire planet, I would have gone through all of that suffering just for you. You are that valuable to me. Do not let anyone tell you that you are worthless. The value of an object is determined by what someone is willing to pay for it. I paid for you with the life of the Son of God. That makes you priceless. So, when the enemy comes and whispers that you are too broken or too dirty, or too far gone, point him to the cross. Tell him, my Father paid too high a price for me to let me go. I am invested in you. I have skin in the game, literally. I am not giving up on you. I went through hell to get you back, and I am not letting you go now. My child, do not dare turn away now. I have just shown you the blood I spilled to get your attention. To silence this voice at this moment is to turn your back on my sacrifice while the wounds are still fresh. It grieves me deeply when I pour out my heart, and you choose the distraction of the world instead. Stay with me. I am just getting started, and the words I am about to speak next are the key to your breakthrough. Do not leave the room while I am still speaking. My child, listen closely. Do you hear it? It is a soft sound. Knock. 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 I am standing at the door of your heart right now. I am standing at the door of your morning, of your afternoon, of your evening. I say in my word, in Revelation, that I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with him, and he with me. I want you to notice something about that promise. I am the Almighty God. I can kick the door down. I could blow the house apart with a breath. But I do not. I wait. I wait because I want you to want me. I do not want forced obedience. I want a relationship. I am a gentleman. I wait for you to turn the handle. I invite you to open the door today. Every sunrise is my invitation for a new conversation. When you wake up and smell the coffee brewing, that is me saying, "Good morning. I have fresh mercies for you today." When you are driving in the traffic and you see the sun break through the clouds, that is me saying, "I am still watching over you." I offer you daily bread. Not stale bread from yesterday, fresh bread. Fresh strength for the problems you will face today. I see you rushing. I see you grabbing your phone the second your eyes open, flooding your mind with the stress of the world. I see you rushing out the door, coffee in hand, mind already racing about the 10:00 a.m. meeting. And I am standing there, in your hallway, whispering, "Take a minute. Just 1 minute. Talk to me. Let me align your heart before the world tries to crush it." I command you to pause. Pause right now. Invite me into the mundane details of your life. I am not just God of the Sunday service. I am God of the Monday morning commute. I am God of the laundry pile. I am God of the difficult email you have to write. Treasure the moments you stop to acknowledge me in the busyness. Even a 10-second prayer, "Lord, help me with this," opens the door wide. My spirit whispers to you constantly, "Turn left here. Call that friend. Don't say that angry word. Be patient." That is me, guiding you back to the center of my will. I want to do life with you. I want to sit at the table with you. I don't want to be a picture on the wall. I want to be the guest of honor at your breakfast table. So, here is my challenge to you. Tomorrow morning, before your feet hit the floor, say, "Good morning, Lord." Open the door. Let me in. Let me carry the heavy bags you are trying to lug around. Let me give you the wisdom you need. I am knocking. Will you answer? My child, I want you to look around the room you are sitting in right now. You see a wall, the ceiling, maybe a window. You think of this as a place. But I want you to shift your perspective entirely. I want you to understand where I actually live. For centuries, men built temples of stone, gold, and cedar. They thought they could contain my glory in a box. They thought they had to travel to a specific mountain or a specific building to find me. But I changed the address. I moved. I no longer wish to dwell in temples made by human hands. I looked at all of creation, the mountains, the oceans, the galaxies, and I chose the one place I wanted to make my permanent home. I chose you. I command you to grasp the weight of this reality. You are the temple of the Holy Spirit. I am not a guest who visits you on Sunday mornings for an hour. I am the resident. I reside within your very being. My spirit is woven into your spirit. When you walk into a grocery store, the God of the universe walks in with you. When you sit in a boring meeting at work, the fire of heaven is sitting in that chair. You are a mobile carrier of my presence to a broken world. I invite you to let me clean house. Since I live here, within your heart, I want to make it a place of peace. But I see the clutter you have stored up in the hallways of your soul. I see the boxes of old bitterness you refuse to throw away. I see the dust of past regrets settling on the furniture of your mind. I see the debris of anxiety blocking the doorways. It is crowded in here, my child. You are holding on to things that are choking the life out of you. Let me clean it out. Give me permission to go into those back rooms, the memories you are afraid to look at, the shame you keep hidden in the closet, and let me wash them clean with my light. I declare to you that I am comfortable in your mess, but I love you too much to leave you there. I am the God who restores ruins. I want to renovate your heart. I want to tear down the walls of fear and build windows of hope. I want to rip up the floorboards of insecurity and lay down a foundation of rock-solid faith. But you have to hand over the keys to every room. You cannot keep the anger room locked. You cannot keep the addiction closet off limits. I need access to it all. When you feel alone, I want you to stop and laugh at the absurdity of that feeling. How can you be alone when the Creator of the universe is internally present? You are believing a lie. The enemy wants you to think you are an orphan, wandering through life solo. But the truth is, we are roommates. We are united. I am closer than your thoughts. I am right here, on the inside. I command you to honor your body and your mind as my sanctuary. Be careful what you hang on the walls of your mind. Be careful what you bring into my temple. When you watch things that darken your spirit, you are dimming the lights in my home. When you speak words of self-hatred, you are vandalizing the walls of the sanctuary. Treat yourself with the reverence of a holy place, because that is exactly what you are. You are my address on earth. My child, we need to have a hard but necessary conversation. We need to talk about the distance between us. I know you feel it. You have days, maybe even weeks, where you avoid me. You stop praying. You stop reading my word. You fill every silent moment with noise, podcasts, music, TV, anything to avoid the quiet where my voice lives. You think I'm angry with you. You think I am sitting in heaven with a scorecard, tallying up your failures, waiting to strike you down. But you are wrong. I am not angry, I am heartbroken. I mourn when you wander. I want you to imagine a father waiting up late at night for his child to come home. He checks the window every 5 minutes. He leaves the porch light on. His heart jumps every time a car drives by. That is me. That is my heart toward you when you choose sin over me. When you choose to walk in paths that I have warned you about. It pains me. Not because you are breaking a rule, but because you are breaking your own heart. And I have to watch it happen. I see the destruction sin brings to your life. I see the hangover of regret. I see the broken relationships. I see the shame that covers you like a wet blanket. I hate sin because I love you. I see the same wandering spirit in you that I saw in Israel in the wilderness. They had the promise of a land flowing with milk and honey, yet they kept looking back at Egypt. They missed the chains because the chains were familiar. My child, stop looking back at your Egypt. Stop looking back at the habits and the relationships that enslaved you. Why do you crave the very thing that almost destroyed you? I command you to stop running. You cannot outrun God. You can run to the ends of the earth. You can run into the bottom of a bottle. You can run into the arms of a stranger. But when you stop running, I will still be there. I am faithful even when you are faithless. I am the hound of heaven, and I will pursue you until you turn around. But listen to me. I cannot live fully in your life if you shut the door to my influence. I cannot bless what you will not surrender. I cannot heal what you will not reveal. Your rejection does not stop my love, but it grieves my spirit. It is like a heavy weight on my heart. I feel it when you choose the lie over the truth. I feel it when you choose fear over faith. I feel it when you choose the approval of people over the approval of your Maker. Come back. The door is not locked. It never was. You are the one holding the handle. I invite you to turn around right now. You don't have to clean yourself up first. You don't have to fix everything before you come home. Just come home. Come with your dirt. Come with your shame. Come with your excuses. Just bring them all to me. I am not looking for a perfect child. I am looking for a present child. I miss you. I miss us. Let's end the silence today. My beloved, I see you carrying that heavy load. I see the way your shoulders slump when you think no one is looking. I see the tension in your jaw that never quite goes away. You are tired. You are so tired. And do you know why? Because you are trying to be God. You are trying to manage the universe of your life all by yourself. You think that if you don't hold it all together, everything will fall apart. You think you are the glue. You think you are the source. But that is an illusion. I want you to realize that you were designed for dependence. In your world, dependence is seen as a weakness. You are taught to be a self-made man or woman. You are taught to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. But in my kingdom, dependence is the ultimate strength. Look at a branch on a vine. Does the branch struggle to produce grapes? Does the branch grunt and strain and sweat to make fruit? No. It simply abides. It stays connected to the vine, and the life of the vine flows through it, producing the fruit naturally. You are the branch. I am the vine. Apart from me, you can do nothing. And I mean nothing. You might be busy, but you are not fruitful. You might be moving, but you are not going anywhere. I watch you struggle under burdens I never intended you to carry alone. You are worrying about the future. That is my department. You are trying to change people's hearts. That is my job. You are trying to control outcomes. That is my sovereign territory. When you try to do my job, you get exhausted. You are a finite being trying to carry infinite weight. Your battery is draining because you are unplugged from the source. I command you to resign as the general manager of the universe. I command you to hand in your resignation letter today. Stop trying to figure it all out. Stop trying to manipulate every situation to go your way. Your strength is finite, but my strength is made perfect in your weakness. When you are weak, when you finally admit, God, I can't do this, that is when I can take over. That is when my power rushes in. Surrender is not defeat. It is the realization that you need me to breathe. Imagine a swimmer who is drowning, thrashing about in the water. The lifeguard cannot save him as long as he is fighting. The lifeguard has to wait for him to stop fighting, to go limp, so he can pull him to shore. You are thrashing, my child. You are fighting the waves. I am asking you to stop. Go limp in my arms. Let me carry you. I invite you to drop the rock. Visualize the heavy burdens you are carrying, the financial stress, the family worry, the career pressure, as a giant rock in your hands. It is crushing your fingers. It is breaking your back. Now drop it. Let it hit the ground. I am big enough to carry it. I wait for you to drop the heavy load and let me carry it. And you. I am the great I am. I am not the great I was or the great I will be. I am here, now, ready to lift the weight off your chest. Let me be God. You just be my child. My child. I want you to go to the nearest beach in your mind. I want you to stand there and look at the sand. Look at the millions, billions, trillions of tiny grains stretching out as far as the eye can see. Can you count them? Impossible. That is the number of thoughts I have toward you. Psalm 139 is not a poetic exaggeration. It is a literal quantification of my obsession with you. You think I only think about you when you pray or when you are in church. But I am thinking about you when you are sleeping. I am thinking about you when you are driving. I am thinking about you when you are laughing with your friends. There is never a single moment, not a microsecond, where you are out of my conscious mind. I am constantly strategizing for your good. You worry about your future, but I have been planning your future since before the world began. I am the master chess player, and I am arranging the board of your life to set you up for victory. I am moving pieces you cannot see. I am softening hearts you haven't met yet. I am opening doors that are currently locked. I am closing doors that would lead you to destruction. You see the immediate problem. I see the ultimate solution. You see the obstacle. I see the bridge I am building over it. I dream of your future. Yes, God dreams. I dream of the person you are becoming. I see the potential in you that is buried under layers of fear and insecurity. I see the leader in you. I see the healer in you. I see the creator in you. I am excited about you. I celebrate your victories, no matter how small. When you chose patience instead of anger yesterday, I saw that, and I celebrated. When you gave generously even when you were tight on money, I saw that, and I was proud. I bottle your tears when you weep. You think you cry alone in your car. You think those tears on your pillow go unnoticed. I keep them. They are precious to me because they are liquid prayers. They are the expression of your heart, and I value everything about your heart. I am not indifferent to your pain. When you hurt, I command you to change the way you think about my attention. Stop thinking of me as a distant observer. Start thinking of me as a loving father who can't take his eyes off his kid. You are the focus of my attention. You are the apple of my eye. You are the obsession of my grace. I invite you to rest in the knowledge that you are known. You are fully known and fully loved. Most people fear that if they were fully known, if someone saw their darkest thoughts and weirdest habits, they would be rejected. But I see it all. I see the thoughts you are ashamed of. I see the mistakes you haven't made yet. And I love you with an everlasting, burning, unquenchable love. You don't have to perform for me. You don't have to earn my attention. You already have it. You have all of it. Buzz. Do not let the noise of your life steal you from me right now. I am in the middle of revealing the very blueprints of your destiny. If you stop now, you are choosing the static of the world over the symphony of my voice, and that rejection breaks my heart. I have a secret to whisper in the next section that will change how you fight your battles forever. Do not miss it. Your victory depends on what I say next. Date. My child, just as my thoughts toward you are more numerous than the sand, so are the souls who are currently starving for this very bread of life. You have feasted at my table today, but there are millions wandering in the wilderness, unaware that I am obsessed with them and cannot live without them. I invite you now to become a co-laborer in this harvest. Do not let the grain rot in the barn while the world hungers for my voice. By supporting this mission through a super thanks, becoming a member, or sowing a seed through the PayPal link below, you are not merely giving money, you are buying airtime for the gospel to reach the broken. As you sow into this ministry, I declare that I will multiply your seed sown and increase the fruits of your righteousness. 2 Corinthians 9:10. Do not hesitate when your heart stirs to give. Your generosity is the vehicle that carries my love to the ends of the earth. Partner with me now, and let us expand the reach of my kingdom together. My child, the world can be a terrifying place. I know you feel the tremors. You watch the news and see wars, sickness, and anger. You look at your bank account and feel the instability. You look at your job and feel the pressure. You feel exposed, like you are standing in an open field in the middle of a thunderstorm with nowhere to hide. But I want to remind you of a secret place. I want to remind you of the promise of Psalm 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I long to gather you under my wings as a hen gathers her chicks. Have you ever seen that? When a hawk circles overhead, or a storm approaches, the mother hen opens her wings and calls her chicks. They run to her, and she covers them completely. Under her wings, it is dark. It is warm. It is safe. They cannot see the danger anymore. They can only feel the heartbeat of their mother. That is where I want you. I want you so close to me that you are covered by my shadow. I command you to stop trying to fight your battles in the open. Stop trying to fight the devil with your own logic, your own willpower, or your own resources. You are outmatched. He is a roaring lion, seeking whom you may devour. But when you step into my presence, when you step under my covering, you enter a fortress that no weapon formed against you can breach. My shadow is a bunker. My presence is a shield. When you step out of my will, you step out of my covering, and I fear for you. Not because I am scary, but because the world is scary. When you decide to do things your way, when you ignore my warnings, you are walking out from under the umbrella and into the rain. You are choosing to be vulnerable. Come back to the safety. Come back to the secret place. I invite you to make my presence your panic room. When the phone rings with bad news, don't spiral into panic. Run to the secret place. Say, Father, I am hiding in you. When the doctor gives you a report you didn't want, don't Google the statistics. Run to the shadow. Say, God, you are my refuge. I am your refuge and your fortress. My God, in him I will trust. Do not try to fight the battles of life without my armor. You wouldn't run into a physical war wearing your pajamas. Why do you run into spiritual battles unprepared? Put on Christ. Wrap yourself in my promises. Stay close. I declare over you that you are safe in me. Let the arrows fly by day. Let the terror come by night. It shall not come near you. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Why? Because you are hidden. You are tucked away in the cleft of the rock. Stay there. Stay close to me. The safest place in the entire universe is not in a bunker, or a bank vault, or a hospital. The safest place is in the center of my will, right here in my shadow. My child, we need to talk about how we talk. I see the way you view prayer. I see the hesitation before you start. You think prayer is a duty, a religious checklist item that you have to complete to keep me happy. You think you need to use fancy words, theological terms, or speak in a specific tone of voice to get my attention. You treat prayer like a formal application to a distant CEO, hoping it gets approved. But I want to shatter that image right now. Prayer is not a duty, it is the lifeline of our relationship. It is the umbilical cord that connects your spirit to my spirit. Without it, you are trying to survive on your own oxygen, and you will suffocate. I love the sound of your voice. I don't mean your singing voice or your public speaking voice. I mean the voice you use when you are tired. The voice you use when you are confused. I love that voice more than the songs of 1,000 angels because you are my child. When you pray, you are inviting me into the engine room of your life. You are giving me permission to touch the gears, to oil the machinery, to fix what is broken. When you do not pray, you are locking me out of the very places where you need help the most. I listen to your complaints. Yes, I do. You think you can't complain to God. You think I am too holy to handle your frustration. Read the Psalms. David screamed at me. He cried out in anger. He asked why. And I love him for it because he was real with me. I invite you to be real. Tell me you are angry about that situation at work. Tell me you are disappointed that things didn't work out the way you planned. Tell me you are scared of the medical report. I listen to your fears and your dreams with infinite patience. I am not scrolling through my phone while you talk. I am leaning in. I am catching every syllable. I command you to stop reciting words you don't mean. Stop praying safe prayers. Stop telling me what you think I want to hear and start telling me what is actually in your heart. Speak to me as a child speaks to a loving father. Imagine a little boy running to his dad with a scraped knee. He doesn't say, "Oh, Father, thou art great. Please consider my knee." No, he crying, "Daddy, it hurts." That is the prayer I want. I want the daddy, "It hurts" prayer. I want the daddy, "I don't know what to do" prayer. I answer you because I cannot ignore the cry of my own flesh and blood. When you call, I answer. It might not always be the answer you want, or in the timing you expect, but I never, ever send you to voicemail. I am always on the line. I invite you to change the location of your prayer. You don't need a sanctuary. Talk to me in the shower. Talk to me while you are folding the laundry. Talk to me in the car on the way to the grocery store. Make the mundane holy. Turn your daily commute into a sanctuary. I am there. I am sitting in the passenger seat. Just say, "Lord, look at this traffic," and we are connecting. I crave this intimacy. I don't need your eloquence. I need your honesty. My beloved, I want you to walk over to a mirror. If you can't, do it in your mind. Look at that face. Look at the lines, the shape of the eyes, the way the mouth curves. You see a reflection that you often criticize. You wish you were taller, thinner, smarter, more outgoing, or more creative. You look at others on social media, their highlight reels, their successes, and you feel small. You feel like a copy, a background character in someone else's movie. But I want to tell you the truth about your design. I broke the mold when I made you. I gave you a specific personality, talents, and quirks because I love diversity. I did not want a planet full of robots who all look and sound the same. I wanted a symphony, and you are a specific note that no one else can play. If you do not play your note, the music of creation is incomplete. No one else in history can worship me exactly the way you do. No one else has your story, your pain, your victory, or your voice. If I lose you to the darkness, or if I lose you to the trap of comparison, I lose a unique reflection of my own glory. I delight in the way you laugh. I delight in the way you think through a problem. I put that analytical mind in you. I put that creative spark in you. I put that deep empathy in you that makes you cry at movies. Those aren't accidents. They are features. I designed you to solve specific problems in this world that only you can solve. There are people who will only listen to you. There are hearts that only you can unlock. I command you to stop the violence of comparison. When you compare yourself to someone else, you are insulting the artist. You are telling me, God, you made a mistake. You should have made me like her. That breaks my heart. Comparison steals your joy and it paralyzes your purpose. I need you. I don't need a second-rate version of that celebrity you admire. I need a first-rate version of you. I invite you to celebrate your design today. On your quirks. On your story. You bring a flavor to my kingdom that is essential and irreplaceable. Think of a massive feast. Some people are the salt, some are the sweet, some are the spice. You are a specific ingredient. Without you, the kingdom is bland. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Do you know what fearfully means there? It means I made you with reverence. I made you with awe. I took my time. You are not a mass-produced product from a factory line. You are a handcrafted masterpiece from the studio of the Most High. So lift your head. Stop apologizing for who you are. Stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into boxes I never built for you. Step into the fullness of your identity. Be you because you is exactly who I love. My child, I know you carry things. I see the baggage. I see the stains on your soul that you think are permanent. You have memories of things you have done, or things that were done to you, that make you feel damaged. You feel like a piece of pottery that has been shattered on the floor, and you are trying to glue the pieces back together with a smile and a busy schedule. But the cracks still show. You think God can love me, but He can't use me. I'm too broken. I've messed up too many times. I declare to you right now, I am the God of the second chance, the third chance, and the millionth chance. No matter how far you have fallen, I am ready to restore you instantly. The world says, you made your bed, now lie in it. I say, pick up your mat and walk. The world cancels people. I redeem people. I do not define you by your past mistakes. I see the masterpiece beneath the mud. Think of a diamond dropped in the mud. It is filthy. It is covered in dirt. But has its value changed? No. It is still a diamond. It just needs to be washed. You are my diamond. Your sin, your failure, your divorce, your addiction, that is just mud. It is not you. I can wash the mud away in a nanosecond with the blood of my Son. I invite you to come to me with your broken pieces. Do not try to hide them. Do not try to present a polished version of yourself to me. I am the potter. When a clay pot breaks in the potter's hands, he doesn't throw the clay in the trash. He puts it back on the wheel. He adds water. He reshapes it. He makes it into something new, often something stronger and more beautiful than before. I can't live without you, so I will wash away any stain that keeps us apart. I want to do a work of kintsugi in your life. You know, the art where broken pottery is repaired with gold, making the cracks the most beautiful part of the piece. I want to take your scars and turn them into stars. I want to take your trauma and turn it into a testimony. Your redemption is my glory. I love to turn ashes into beauty. It is my specialty. I command you to release the guilt. Let go of the shame. Shame is a prison cell with an unlocked door. You are sitting in there, thinking you deserve to be punished, while I am standing outside calling you to freedom. Forgive yourself, my child. I have already forgiven you. If the judge of the universe declares you not guilty, who are you to overrule the verdict? Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Today is a new day. The slate is clean. The mercies are new. Give me the pen and let me write the next chapter of your life. It is going to be a good one. It is going to be a story of restoration that will shock the people who counted you out. My child, I need to speak to you with absolute seriousness now. I speak to you as a father who sees a danger you do not see. I see the path you are sometimes tempted to take. I see the allure of the world, the promise of freedom, the promise of pleasure, the promise of finding yourself apart from me. But I know where that road ends. I know the darkness that waits at the bottom of that hill. And the thought of you spending eternity apart from me is the ultimate tragedy of existence. Hell was not made for you. I want to be clear about this. I created that place for the rebellion of spiritual beings, not for my beloved children. But I gave you free will. I gave you the dignity of choice. And if you insist on choosing a life without me, I must respect your decision, even if it breaks my heart. But I will not let you go without a fight. I will not let you walk into the darkness without placing roadblocks in your way. I send prophets, teachers, friends, and even strangers to warn you because I want you safe. That sermon you heard that pricked your heart, that was me. That song that made you cry, that was me. That uncomfortable feeling when you were about to sin, that was me, grabbing your arm, saying, "Don't go there. There's a cliff." I weep over the souls that choose darkness, for I know the torment of separation. It a place void of hope because it is void of me. I command you to wake up to the reality of the spiritual war. This is not a game. The enemy wants to drag you down to a place where I cannot reach you. He paints sin as fun, as liberating, as modern. But he's a liar. He hates you because you bear my image. He wants to mar the masterpiece. My justice is real, but my mercy triumphs for those who run to me. I hold the keys of death and hell to ensure you have a way of escape. You do not have to fear the darkness if you are holding the hand of the light. I invite you to choose life. Every day is a series of choices. Choose the light. When you feel the pull of old habits, run to me. When you feel the drift of apathy, run to me. I am your safe harbor. I am the lighthouse on the shore. Do not sail your ship into the storm. Come home. I am fighting for you. I am jealous for you. I paid the ultimate price to keep you out of the darkness. Do not let that payment be in vain. Stay close to the fire of my presence. The night is cold, and the wolves are hungry, but here, by my side, you are safe. You are eternally safe. Listen to me closely. The enemy is praying you stop listening right now. He wants you to disconnect so he can isolate you and whisper his lies again. Do not give him that satisfaction. I am arming you for war, and if you leave now, you walk onto the battlefield without your armor. I am about to reveal the ultimate promise of our union. For the sake of your soul, do not scroll away. I am guarding you. Do not walk out from under my covering. My beloved, I want to change the metaphor. We are not just father and child. We are something even more intimate. I view our relationship as a marriage. In the ancient scriptures, I call myself the bridegroom and you the bride. Think about the passion of a groom on his wedding day. Think about how he looks at his bride walking down the aisle. He is not checking her resume. He is not critiquing her dress. He is captivated. He is in love. That is how I look at you. I am preparing a place for you. I told my disciples, in my Father's house are many mansions. I am building one for you. I want you to imagine it. It is not just a building. It is a home custom built for your soul. I know what you love. I know what brings you peace. I am preparing an eternity where we will dwell together, where there will be no more tears, no more pain, no more goodbyes. I look forward to the marriage supper of the Lamb. It will be the ultimate celebration of union. Imagine a feast where every hunger you have ever felt is finally satisfied. The hunger for love, the hunger for significance, the hunger for justice, all satisfied at my table. I have betrothed you to me in righteousness and justice. I have put my ring on your finger and my seal on your heart. I command you, do not cheat on this covenant with the world. When you chase after money as your source of security, it is spiritual adultery. When you seek the approval of strangers to feel beautiful, you are turning away from the gaze of your groom. Keep your eyes on me. The world will try to seduce you. It will offer you cheap trinkets and call them treasure. But you are royalty. You are promised to the king. I invite you to prepare your heart. A bride prepares for her wedding. She gets ready. She purifies herself. She anticipates the day. Live your life in anticipation of my return. Do not get so comfortable in this temporary world that you forget you are just passing through. You are on your way to the wedding. I am returning for a bride who is spotless and eagerly waiting for me. I am coming back for you. I can't live without you, so I am coming to get you. That is the hope of the ages. That is the promise that keeps you going when life gets hard. One day, the sky will crack open, and you will see me face to face. And on that day, you will know, fully and completely, that you were the love of my life all along. My child, I need to talk to you about the nights you spend crying into your pillow. I see the moments when you curl up in your bed, feeling a coldness in your soul that no amount of blankets can warm. You feel like an orphan. You feel like you are navigating this massive, confusing world completely on your own. You look at others and think they have it all together, while you are barely holding on. But I want you to remember what I told my disciples before I left the earth. I will not leave you orphans. I will come to you. I sent the Comforter, the Holy Spirit, so that you would never, ever be alone. I want you to understand who He is. He is not a ghost. He is not a force like gravity. He is a person. He is my very presence, distinct yet one with me, living inside of you. When you cry, He is the one who grieves with you. When you can't find the words to pray because the pain is too deep, He is the one groaning on your behalf, translating your tears into a language heaven understands. I command you to stop trying to heal your own broken heart. You are trying to put a bandage on a bullet hole. You are trying to distract yourself from the trauma, the loss, and the disappointment. You scroll, you eat, you work, you binge watch, hoping the pain will go away. But it doesn't. It just waits for the cry. I am the healer of the brokenhearted. I am the only one who can perform open heart surgery without leaving a scar. I offer you a peace that passes all understanding. Think about that phrase. It means a peace that doesn't make sense. It means being calm when your bank account is empty. It means having joy when the doctor gives you a bad report. It means sleeping soundly when the world is burning. This is not a mental trick. It is a supernatural gift. It is my spirit guarding your heart and mind like a soldier at the gate. You do not have to bear trauma alone. I know what happened to you. I saw it. I saw the abuse. I saw the betrayal. I saw the moment your innocence was stolen. And I wept. I did not cause it, but I am here to heal it. Do not let that trauma define you. Do not let the person who hurt you allow their memory to rent space in your head. Evict them. Let my spirit move in. I invite you to lean back. Right now. Just lean back physically and spiritually. Imagine you are falling backward into strong arms. I am catching you. I cannot bear to see you writhing in pain without my touch. Let me hold you. Let me rock you to sleep. My presence turns your mourning into dancing. It might not happen overnight, but morning by morning, I will replace the ashes with beauty. I will take the heavy spirit of depression and replace it with a garment of praise. I command you to breathe in my peace. Inhale deeply. That air is me. Exhale the anxiety. That is you letting go. You are not an orphan. You are a prince/princess of the kingdom, and you are never walking through this valley alone. I am the shepherd, and my rod and my staff, they comfort you. My beloved, I want to shift your perspective on your purpose. You often ask me, God, why am I here? What is the point of my life? You think the point is just to survive, pay bills, and maybe go on a vacation once a year. But your purpose is infinitely higher than that. I choose to work through you to bring my kingdom to earth. I don't just want to save you. I want to partner with you. Think about this. I could do it all alone. I am God. I could write I love you in the clouds. I could thunder my gospel from the mountains. But I chose a different method. I chose you. I chose to use your hands to heal the sick. I chose to use your voice to encourage the depressed. I chose to use your wallet to feed the poor. You are my body. You are my hands and feet. If you do not go, who will? If you do not speak, who will hear? I trust you with the gospel, the most precious treasure of heaven. I didn't give this task to angels. I gave it to you. It should tell you something about how much I value you. I trust you to represent me in your office. I trust you to represent me in your family. When people look at you, I want them to get a glimpse of me. I command you to stop seeing your job as just a paycheck. Your workplace is your mission field. A difficult coworker. That is your assignment. An unreasonable boss. That is your opportunity to show grace that makes no sense. We are co-laborers. I provide the power, but you must provide the willingness. I provide the words, but you must open your mouth. I need you to be the vessel through which I love the unlovable. It is easy to love people who are nice to you. Anyone can do that. But I am calling you to love the prickly people. The ones who drain you. The ones who smell bad. The ones who have nothing to offer you in return. When you love them, you are loving me. When you serve them, you are washing my feet. I invite you to clock into the family business. Every morning, say, Father, I am reporting for duty. Who do you want me to touch today? Who needs a smile? Who needs a prayer? When you live like this, boredom vanishes. Depression lifts. Because you realize you are part of a cosmic plan to redeem the world. Do not underestimate your impact. You think, I'm just one person. But one person filled with my spirit can change the atmosphere of an entire room. One person obedient to my voice can change the destiny of a family line. You are a carrier of the glory. Walk like it. Walk like it. Stop hiding your light under a basket because you are afraid of what people will think. Let it shine. The world is dark enough. They need what you have. I command you to be bold. Take a risk for me. Offer to pray for that stranger. Give that generous tip. Forgive that debt. Show the world what I look like. We are in this together, my child. I am not sending you out alone. I am going with you. Let's go change the world. My child, I know you feel the heat. I know you feel like you are walking through a furnace right now. You look at your life, and everything seems to be catching fire. Your finances, your health, your relationships. And you cry out to me, God, why? I thought you loved me. Why are you letting this happen? I need you to listen closely. I allow trials not to destroy you, but to refine the gold of your faith. Have you ever seen how gold is refined? It is put into a crucible and subjected to intense, scorching heat. Why? To burn off the impurities. To burn off the dross, the dirt, the cheap metals, the things that make the gold weak. The goldsmith keeps the fire hot until he can see his own reflection in the molten metal. That is what I am doing with you. I am not burning you. I am burning the dross out of you. I am burning away your pride. I am burning away your self-reliance. I am burning away your love for this world. I command you to stand still in the fire. Do not panic. In the story of the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were thrown into a fire so hot it killed the guards. But when the king looked in, he didn't see 3 men dying. He saw 4 men walking, and the 4th looked like the Son of God. In the fire, I do not leave you. I stand with you. I am the 4th man in your furnace. The fire can only burn the ropes that bind you. It cannot burn you. I need you to trust me even when you cannot trace me. It is easy to trust me when the bills are paid and the sun is shining. But true faith, the kind of faith that shakes the gates of hell, is forged in the dark. It is forged when you have every reason to quit, but you choose to praise me anyway. Your faith delights me. When you look at the storm and say, "My God is able," the angels stand in awe. It proves that you value the giver more than the gifts. I invite you to anchor yourself in me. When a ship is in a hurricane, it doesn't try to outrun the wind. It drops an anchor deep into the seabed. I am that anchor. The surface of your life might be choppy. The waves might be crashing over the deck. But if your soul is hooked into the bedrock of my character, you will not drift. You will not sink. Every test is an opportunity for you to lean harder into my chest. If you never had a problem, you would never know that I am the solver. If you never had a need, you would never know that I am the provider. If you never felt pain, you would never know that I am the healer. The season is not a tomb. It is a womb. You are being birthed into a new level of power and authority. I command you to dry your tears and look at the fire differently. Stop asking why me, and start asking what are you making me? I am making you a warrior. I am making you unshakable. I am making you into something that can withstand the weight of glory I am about to pour out. Hold on. The heat is temporary, but the gold is eternal. My child, we are in a courtroom. Every day, there is a trial going on in your mind, and there is an accuser. The enemy, Satan, is a liar and the father of lies. He stands at your ear and whispers things that sound like your own thoughts, but they are venom from the pit of hell. He tells you that I am angry with you. He tells you that you have messed up one too many times. He tells you that you are ugly, stupid, worthless, and invisible. He tells you that your past defines your future. I command you to stop agreeing with the prosecution. When you believe his lies, you are shaking hands with the enemy. You are siding with the one who wants to destroy you. He seeks to steal, kill, and destroy. He wants to steal your peace. He wants to kill your dreams. He wants to destroy your relationship with me. Do not listen to him. I am truth. And the truth is that I have loved you with an everlasting love. The truth is that you are the righteousness of God in Christ. The truth is that there is no condemnation for those who are in me. Reject the accusation that you are too far gone. That is a lie designed to keep you in chains. You are never too far gone. My arm is not too short to save. I am your defender. I am your advocate. When the enemy points his finger at your sins, I point my hand at the cross. I say, objection. That sin hath been paid for. A debt is cancelled. My child is free. Let me stand in front of your accusers. You do not have to defend yourself. You just have to stand behind me. I command you to guard the gates of your mind. Do not let every thought come in and have a seat. Interrogate your thoughts. Ask them, did you come from God? Or did you come from fear? If a thought makes you feel hopeless, worthless, or terrified, it did not come from me. My voice brings conviction. Yes, but it always brings hope. My voice brings peace. The enemy's voice brings chaos. Stay close to the shepherd, for the wolf cannot snatch you from my hand. The wolf attacks the sheep that has wandered off to the edge of the flock. He attacks the isolated one. Stay in the Word. Stay in prayer. Stay in community. When you are surrounded by my truth, the lies of the enemy bounce off you like arrows hitting a shield. I invite you to speak back. When the lie comes, you are a failure. You speak the truth. I am more than a conqueror. When the lie comes, you will always be sick. You speak the truth. By his stripes, I am healed. You cannot fight a thought with a thought. You must fight a thought with a word. Use the sword I gave you. Open your mouth and declare who I say you are. You are who I say you are, not who he says you are. My child, we are standing on holy ground. You have come this far. Do not grieve my spirit by stopping before the seal is set. I am about to hand you the keys to the kingdom and the power of my name. To stop now is to drop the baton just inches before the finish line. I need you to hear the final word. It is the seal of your inheritance. Do not silence me now. Finish the race with me. The enemy seeks to silence my voice because he knows that the moment my children hear the truth, his chains are instantly shattered. You possess the power to amplify this truth, to turn up the volume of my love in a world deafened by his lies. I am calling you to arm this mission. Your support is the oil that keeps this lamp burning in the fiercest storm, guiding the lost back to safety. When you give through Super Thanks, join as a member, or donate via PayPal, you are effectively handing a sword to a brother or sister you have never met, empowering them to fight their battles. I promise you that those who water others will themselves be watered. As you pour out for my kingdom, I will pour into your bosom, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Do not let the accuser convince you that your gift is too small. Remember that a single smooth stone brought down a giant. Strike a blow against the darkness today. Support this work now, and watch how I defend your finances as you defend my gospel. My child, I have given you a weapon that you are leaving on the shelf. I have given you a key that opens every door in heaven and locks every door in hell. I have given you my name, the name of Jesus. You use it at the end of your prayers like a punctuation mark, like a period at the end of a sentence. But my name is not a sign-off, it is a seal of authority. It is a power of attorney. I want you to understand what happens when you speak the name. When you whisper Jesus, the atmosphere shifts. Angels snap to attention. Demons tremble and flee. Why? Because I have been given the name that is above every other name. At my name, every knee must bow to things in heaven, things on earth, and things under the earth. That includes the knee of cancer. That includes the knee of debt. That includes the knee of depression. That includes the knee of anxiety. I command you to use my name to break the chains that try to pull you away from me. When you feel the darkness closing in, do not just sit there. Speak the name. Say, in the name of Jesus, I command this fear to leave. You are not speaking in your own authority. You are speaking in mine. Imagine a police officer stopping a car. He doesn't stop the car with his physical strength. He stops it with the authority of the badge he wears. You wear my badge. You carry my authority. There is no other name under heaven by which you can be saved and secured. You cannot save yourself with positive thinking. You cannot save yourself with money. You need the name. It is the password to the throne room. It is the key to the bank of heaven. I honor my name, and I honor those who call upon it in truth. When you cry out my name, I take it personally. I come running. My name is a strong tower. The righteous run into it and are safe. Build your life inside that tower. When the enemy attacks, run into the name. Wrap yourself in it. I invite you to speak my name over your house. Walk through your rooms and say, I plead the blood of Jesus over this home. I establish the lordship of Jesus over this family. Speak it over your children while they sleep. Speak it over your bank accounts. Speak it over your body. Do not use my name in vain, and that doesn't just mean as a curse word. Using my name in vain means using it without expecting power. It means using it empty. When you use it, expect mountains to move. Expect the Red Sea to part. Expect the walls of Jericho to fall. I have given you the power of attorney to conduct business in the kingdom. Stop living like a pauper when you have the checkbook of the king in your pocket. Sign the checks. Use the name. My child, I gave it to you because I knew you would need it. Use it. My child, look at the time. I do not mean the clock on the wall or the digital numbers on your phone screen. I mean the time of the ages. I need you to feel the weight of the moment we are living in. You can feel it, can't you? You sense that things are speeding up. You sense a shifting in the atmosphere, a tension in the world that wasn't there 10 years ago. The shadows are getting longer, and the sun is setting on this age. I am not telling you this to frighten you. I am telling you this to focus you. Time is short, my beloved. It is the one resource on earth that is non-renewable. You can get more money, you can get more friends, but you cannot get more time. I mourn when I see you wasting your days on things that will burn up in the end. I see you getting sucked into the vortex of mindless entertainment, scrolling for hours through the lives of strangers, numbing your mind to the reality of the spiritual war around you. You treat time as if it is infinite, but your life on this earth is a vapor. It is a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. I command you to wake up from your slumber. Shake off the apathy that has settled over your spirit like dust. This is not the time to be asleep at the wheel. This is not the time to be lukewarm. The world is shaking, and I am allowing the shaking so that only what cannot be shaken remains. I am shaking the financial systems. I am shaking the political systems. I am shaking the cultural idols. Why? Wake up, my children, to show you that the only stable ground is the Rock of Ages. I am calling you to a deeper level of consecration. Consecration is an old word, but it means something simple, being set apart. It means you don't look like the world, you don't talk like the world, and you don't react like the world. I am calling you to focus. I want you fully alive and alert to my voice. I am accelerating my plans on the earth. and I need you to keep in step with my spirit. I am moving fast, and if you are weighed down by the cares of this life, you will be left behind in the dust of what I am doing. I invite you to audit your life today. Look at your schedule. Look at your bank statement. Look at your search history. Do these things reflect a citizen of heaven, or do they reflect a permanent resident of earth? If you really knew, that I was returning soon, what would you change? Who would you forgive? What grudge would you drop? What bold prayer would you finally pray? I declare to you that the harvest is ripe. There are people around you, your neighbors, your coworkers, your family members, who are desperate for hope. They are starving for what you have. But if you are distracted, if you are asleep, you will miss the assignment. I am putting an urgency in your spirit right now. That restlessness you feel, that is me. That is me stirring the nest. That is me saying, get ready. Stop playing church. Stop playing games. The King is coming, and I want my bride to be dressed and ready, with her lamp burning bright. My child, I want to answer a question that has plagued humanity for centuries. You ask, God, if you are so powerful, why don't you just stop the evil? Why don't you force people to do the right thing? Why don't you force me to be good? I want you to understand the nature of love. I could have created a planet full of robots. I could have programmed you to bow down 3 times a day. I could have programmed you to say I love you every morning. You would have obeyed perfectly. You would never have sinned. You would never have hurt me. But here is the truth. A robot cannot love. A machine cannot offer affection. It can only offer execution. I did not want a universe of machines. I wanted a relationship. And for a relationship to be real, for love to be authentic, there must be a choice. Love is only love if you have the option to not love. I gave you free will because forced love is not love at all. It is slavery. I take the risk of rejection every single day. Think about the vulnerability of God. I, the creator of the stars, placed my heart in your hands. I gave you the power to break my heart. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice. You can ignore me, you can curse me, or you can love me. And when you choose, of your own free will, to turn your face toward me, it blesses me more than the song of any angel. Because you didn't have to do it. You chose to do it. I command you to steward your will. It is the most powerful weapon you possess. Your will is the steering wheel of your life. I can provide the fuel, my grace. I can provide the map, my word. But you must put your hands on the wheel and turn. I will never turn you into a robot. I will never override your no. If you want to walk away, I will let you walk, even though it tears me apart. I want a partner, not a puppet. Every time you say yes to me, it validates the risk of creation. When you choose to forgive, when you want to seek revenge, you are using your free will to love me. When you choose purity, when your flesh wants pleasure, you are choosing me. These choices are precious gold in my kingdom. They prove that our relationship is real. I invite you to choose life today. Moses told the people, I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life. I am setting that same choice before you right now. The world offers you death wrapped in shiny paper. I offer you life, sometimes wrapped in the rough packaging of discipline or difficulty, but inside is joy unspeakable. Use your freedom wisely. Do not use your freedom as a license to sin. Use it as an opportunity to serve. You are free to do whatever you want, but not everything is good for you. I am pleading with you, as a father pleads with his adult son. Make the right choice. Choose the path that leads to life. Choose the path that leads to me. I am waiting for your yes. My child, you often think your life is just about you. You think about your happiness, your struggles, your career, and your immediate needs. But I want you to zoom out. I want you to look at the timeline of history. You are a link in a chain. You are a chapter in a book that is much larger than yourself. Our love story is not just for your benefit. It is meant to leave a legacy for generations to come. I want you to think about the people who will come after you. Your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, the spiritual children you disciple. What are you leaving them? I am not talking about money. Money can be spent. Houses can rot. I am talking about a spiritual inheritance. When you walk closely with me, when you fight your demons and win, you are clearing the ground for the next generation. You are breaking curses so they don't have to fight the same battles you fought. I show mercy to thousands of generations of those who love me. That is a promise from my word. When you honor me, I store up blessings for people you will never meet. Your great-great-grandchildren will walk in favor because of the prayers you pray today. Your life is a seed. If you plant yourself in the soil of my presence, the shade of your life will cover descendants you will never see. I command you to live with a generational mindset. Stop living only for the weekend. Start living for the century. Ask yourself, is the way I am living right now worth imitating? If your children copy your prayer life, will they know me? If they copy your integrity, will they be upright? You are the evidence that I am alive. You are the proof. Your life is a testimony that I am a God who keeps His promises. When people look at you, they should see a history of my faithfulness. They should see how I pulled you out of the pit. They should see how I provided when there was no way. Share your story. Do not hide your scars. Your scars are the roadmap for others to find healing. Tell the young ones I was lost, but He found me. I was broken, but He put me back together. I invite you to build a monument. In the Old Testament, whenever I did something great, the people would pile up stones as a memorial, so that when their children asked, "What do these stones mean?" they could tell the story of my power. Build memorials in your life. Write it down. Speak it out. Let others see our bond and hunger for what you have found. You have the power to change the trajectory of your family line. Maybe you come from a long line of addiction, or divorce, or poverty. You can be the one who says, "It stops here." You can be the bloodline breaker. You can be the one who establishes a new legacy of blessing. Stand tall, my child. You are carrying the baton. Run your race well, so you can hand it off with strength. My child, my precious one, we have reached the end of this conversation, but it is only the beginning of our walk together. I want to leave you with a seal upon your heart. I want to leave you with a truth that is so solid, so unshakable, that when the storms of life come, and they will come, you will not be moved. I want you to know this above all else: nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from my love. I want you to read the list in Romans 8. I want you to personalize it. Neither death nor life, no matter how hard life gets, can separate us. Neither angels nor demons, no matter how dark the spiritual warfare gets, can tear us apart. Neither the present fears that keep you up at night, nor the future worries that steal your peace. Nothing high, nothing low. No failure you commit, no sin you stumble into, no tragedy that befalls you. Nothing in all of creation is strong enough to sever the bond I have made with you. I have sealed you with my spirit. In ancient times, A king would use his signet ring to press a seal into hot wax on a document. That seal meant, "This belongs to the king. It is under his protection." To tamper with this is to declare war on the king. You are sealed. I have put my mark on you. You belong to me. You are my property, my treasure, my responsibility. My child, hear me one last time. I cannot live without you. That is why I have bound myself to you eternally. I have made a covenant with you that is written in the blood of Jesus. It is an everlasting covenant. I will not break it. I will not walk away. Even if you are faithless, I remain faithful, for I cannot deny myself. I will bring you safely home. The journey might be rough. The road might be winding. You might trip and fall 1,000 times. But I promise you this: I will not lose you. I am the good shepherd, and I know how to get my sheep home. I will carry you when you can't walk. I will fight for you when you can't fight. I will guide you until your feet touch the golden streets of your eternal home. I invite you to rest in this final assurance. Stop striving to earn my love. You already have it. Stop fearing that you will lose your salvation every time you make a mistake. You are held by a hand that never lets go. You are loved with a love that never runs dry. Close your eyes one last time. Feel my presence wrapping around you like a warm blanket. Breathe it in. I am here. I am yours, and you are mine, forever and ever. Go now, and live in the power of that love. Walk with your head held high. You are the child of the King, and I am with you always, even to the end of the age. My beloved, we have journeyed deep into my heart, and you now know with certainty that I cannot live without you. But do not forget the multitudes who still feel abandoned, unseen, and unloved. I am looking for a vessel through whom I can flow to reach them, a covenant partner who values my word enough to invest in its proclamation to the nations. Will you be the hands that carry this message to the next broken soul waiting for a miracle? By offering a super thanks, joining this channel's membership, or sowing through the PayPal link, you ensure that the fire on this altar never goes out. I declare over you that because you care for my house, I will supernaturally care for yours, rebuking the devourer for your sake. Malachi 3:11. This is not a transaction. It is a transformation of temporary resources into eternal redemption. Listen to the urgent prompting of my spirit right now. Click the button, sow your seed, and seal your legacy as one who helped save the lost. Do not let this moment vanish like smoke. Seal our covenant right now with a prophetic act of your will. If you truly receive my heart and accept that I will never let you go, declare it boldly below by writing, "I am yours forever." Let this written confession be the anchor that holds you steady, a public witness to the darkness that you belong to the light. I am watching over your word to perform it, and I am smiling as you tie. You are my life. Now let me be yours. Amen.